What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Season Gaming Bitcast episode 300. We have done it. We're done. After today, we don't have to do this show anymore, boys. This is it. This is the peak.
That was the goal.
That was it.
Finally,
You're hitting 300 and we're out.
Yeah, finally paid back all that government-mandated community service we all owed together.
You go into politics. I immediately thought Ains had made a promise with a genie or a pact with a demon of some kind, and we had to hit 300.
Both of those are not far from the truth. So you can take either one. You're good. But yes, we are here. Hello, everyone, for 300. And actually, it's the first time I think the four of us have been back together in a few weeks as well. So the timing was good. We obviously made sure that all of us were here for 300. Today is going to be a little bit of a different show. We are looking forward to literally just hanging out with the community, with obviously the chat on both channels that we broadcast on, just sharing some memories, sharing what we're playing, stories, whatever the hell we feel like talking about, honestly. And we're going to have a bunch of different members from around the community stopping by as well, just to say hello, hang out, share a story, what have you. So it should just be a get together, very casual. Episode 300. We talked about different ideas for this episode, and this is where we landed. So there we are. But you know all of us well. I'm going to start with the man, the myth, the seven, of course, rocking the Yakuza shirt today. What's the actual brand from that again?
It's Onimichiyo. That's what it is.
There you go.
Is that the robot one or the orange one?
It's the orange one.
Oh no,
the robot one is steel.
Oh no.
You know,
Mr. Rodriguez, how we doing this morning?
Doing all right, guys. I'm ready. 300. It's crazy. I don't think this is like 276 for me technically. So
you actually are exactly right, and I have some clips to show later of first appearances for each of us, including myself. Funny enough, which is the
you have
worst.
Episode 0.
I have episode 0. I have the intro that I did for episode 0, and it's the most horrifying thing you've ever seen in your life. So
people deserve to see it.
Challenge accepted.
Stay tuned, folks.
It's bad. It's real bad. I can't even watch it without blushing. It's that bad, but that's okay. We'll have some fun.
I'd love to see you blush.
I'm probably way thinner. That's it.
I could tell you, looking at the clip because I have it ready here, is your beard's a lot darker from episode 24. I will say that.
A lot longer. And I got tired of dealing with it.
Yes,
that's
very true.
Annoying.
Joining us, I forget the exact episode. I have it here in my notes. I'll pull up. But Mr. Tie Guy Travis has been with us for longer than I expected. In fact, July 25th, so 4 days from now, of 2021 was the first time you joined us as a permanent panel member. So basically 3 years this week.
Wow, huge. I'd like to thank the Academy. This is actually my third show in a year's time that I've been on the 300th episode for, and all of them I was not part of the show for most of those episodes. So my MO seems to be I take credit for 300 episodes I did not create, and then shortly after I do so, the show stops being a thing.
I was waiting for that news bit, which was
I mean we're done after today, so you did it again.
Yeah. So with any luck, this will be our last episode, and I am the harbinger of death.
No, I'm the harbinger of death. Have you not seen the Concord numbers?
Oh, okay.
Are they bad? I haven't actually even looked, to be honest with you.
People are concerned about the Steam numbers, right? Which isn't the best place to look at a PlayStation game, but it is on Steam, and it is free right now. So bad numbers when you're free is not great for a paid service. But as I've said on this show before, if I like something, run away, run far away in the multiplayer live service space, at least. And I think I should start selling consultancy services for these studios to have me specifically not like what they're producing. Because I'm kind of about Call of Duty. I don't love sports games that much, although we can talk about College Football 25 certainly. But I got excited about Concord. I'm enjoying my time with Concord. I love Skull and Bones. And these companies would do well to pay to have me not like their products.
It's an angle that they may not have considered, So I think you're onto something there. But yes, that's Mr. Hogue.
You know him from Mrs. Hogue. He said if you like something, run away.
You do not like what my wife likes in terms of gaming?
No, you like her, so I run away from her, just out of principle.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay, moving on. So that's Mr. Hogue back from his Disney cruise, I will say. And Mr. Hogue, you joined us officially, by the way, which at first was on a temporary assignment. You know, you were only kind of filling in. Not too long after Travis on Bitcast 189, February 6th of 2022. So you're 2.5 years yourself at this point.
Ah, yes, 2022. One of my more notable years.
Yeah. So see what Bitcast did to you, you know? Yeah.
Indeed.
So, chat, good to see everyone this morning. Yeah, we're going to be having a lot of fun, just kind of goofing off today. So let me get caught up on a few things real quick. We've got some super chats to get to out of the gate. We, of course, have Tides picks to touch on. So let's start with a few things here, Dan, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Nisa, the member comment. Happy 300 gets to 300 more.
She meant here's the 300 more.
Oh, here's the 300 more. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, thanks.
Thank
Nisa.
you. Thank you, Nissa.
What do you think would happen to us if we did another 300 episodes?
I want the AI to generate our faces for episode 600.
I mean, that's like,
what do you say, Tide?
Yeah. Show these guys in 5 more years or whatever, however long it would take.
I mean, you're talking what how long did it take to get to this number? We never even
6 years.
Well, remember, Bitcast was bi-weekly originally, so the time is kind of
Mm.
stretched out. But it was
Okay.
2017 the show started officially, so it's 7 years in.
Wow.
Also, it felt like we spent 25 years in the 270s. So, hey.
Nissa, thank you so much. Supports a bunch of the community shows around here, so appreciate you. Debbie W.
Debbie W with the $20 super chat. Happy number 300. Before the shenanigans start, quick reminder to World of Warcraft players: the pre-patch for The War Within is Tuesday, and the pre-expansion event starts 1 week later for Azeroth.
Fair enough, Debbie. Yes,
I like the gravitas you gave that for Azeroth, Dad.
Yeah.
For Azeroth. Yeah,
Warcraft,
whatever.
No, it was very serious.
Big WoW player, Debbie. Thank you so much. Big supporter of the channel as well. Very generous, supporting Extra Life as well, which I was playing for this weekend. And I was also going to say, we've got a couple people at SG that are big on WoW, and they'll be talking about it and covering it as well. So stay tuned for that. Debbie, thank you. John, this is John Clark, founder of Xbox Era.
All right. I'm just going to say, John, thanks for the 10 pounds. Congrats on the 300. Big numbers. That's
yes,
right.
John. Thank you. I know he's looking forward to Gamescom. We got Gamescom in a couple weeks. He's going to be out there, and definitely pay attention to John's feed. He's got some surprises in store, which hugely excited about. So, John, thank you, my friend.
Nice.
Midnight Drury
with a member comment. Congrats on 300. Thank you.
Thank you, Drury, and thank you for the continuous support. Always generous as well. Thank you so much, Cherry
Mills, member for 18 months. That's awesome. Congrats on 300 with the little
Space Invaders.
Space Invaders. Yeah.
Nice. Cherry, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Shoosh.
Yeah, a lot of them. Shoosh coming in with the €2. Happy 300. And here's the 300 more. Yeah.
Well, there's longevity concerns we're talking about here with this panel. We're falling apart as it is. Thank you, Shoosh. That blue number, Holly.
That blue number, $20 super check, Holly. Okay. Congrats, gentlemen. Well deserved. See you soon.
Yes.
All right.
Holly, thank you very much. Holly, not only on Xbox Infinite and one of the awesome people I get to hang out with in LA with Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Showcase, but also partners with Ben on the fan art stuff for those Xbox coins and everything as well. So
nice.
Thank you, Holly, very much. Thank you. Googleman.
All right. Googleman, €10. Happy 300. Spartans wax their chests. Get it on. Get on it. Or get on it.
I'm a Wolverine.
Okay. I'm not waxing my chest.
I'm way ahead of you.
People do not tune into this show for our chests. So
I'm a Wolverine. I think I'm already signed up with Deadpool and Xbox butt controllers or whatever they've got going online now. So
is this your way of coming out as Harry?
I think it's clear that I have a good head of hair on me.
That means nothing, right?
Who's
there.
the hairiest? Not including the head.
No.
Let's figure this
Why
out.
is this a topic we're going into?
Are we going by volume, like
yeah,
thickness, or like coverage?
I think coverage. I think both are important.
Travis is just trying to get you one of those nice Manscaped sponsorships, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't worry
I already turned them down. They came to us a while ago.
Yeah, and you said I like my balls disgusting. Thank you very much. I'm a man of principle.
Moving on, Googleman. Thank you.
Thanks
Bad
for
Boy
that.
Horror.
Bad Boy Horror with the €2, 300. This is Sparta. Yeah, that's the best.
That was pretty flat, Dan. That was pretty flat.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
This
I can't yell.
is
I can't do it right now.
Sparta.
Sparta. It's just a factual statement. This is Sparta.
Well, how do you do? And welcome to Sparta. Here we are, very polite.
Puts his arm around him, walks him away.
Yeah.
Madness. This is Sparta. We'll have no madness here.
That's right.
That boy, thank you. Risk it.
Oh, what's that? Is that Australian dollar?
Australian, yes.
$7.99. Thanks, Risk It, for the biscuit. Congratulations, fellas. Bitcast. Oi, oi, oi.
Yes.
See, I would not be a good football fan. Soccer fan.
It's a chant.
Yeah, or rugby, or whatever that is for.
I think
No
Outback is using it in its commercials right now. See, when you go on vacation, you get to see a lot of commercials.
Which I'm sure the Australians just love the authenticity of Outback.
They invented the bloomin' onion, man. That's all.
Worth it. Biscuit, thank you very much.
100%.
All right. Caught up there. Of course, we got a shout out Tide who gave us a 300 celebration AI pick this morning. And it's rather normal looking, honestly.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
of course I have a headset as per
That's
protocol.
the most Travis has ever looked like Travis.
What kind of food does Travis have?
It looks like I combined with Hogue and became a Hogue Travis. Look at that.
I don't know, man.
God, am I melting?
Travis Law.
Travis Law. Please no.
Why do I have a small patch of red hair on my head? Or is that confetti?
Ains, I don't know why they put. You look a little dim in this photo. They put all of your they squished all of your facial features into the center of your head, which I really appreciate. It's nice.
I want to know more about the pink cat pen that Travis has. Or is that supposed to be a candle?
I think it's a lollipop. I don't know. Or maybe a straw.
Those foods, it looks like you have like a pierogi and like that the Japanese stuff on a stick.
Yeah. No, I'm not happy about it either. I'm not happy about all this food I've got to eat.
That's I don't know what I thought that was supposed to be a 300, the blue thing in front of you that kind of melted. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Oh, it's
Yeah.
just facing the wrong way.
Or maybe that's an exclamation point. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
The AI always is so flattering to Hogue. I'm so upset by what it does to me versus him, man. He always glows up and I melt.
You look like you're working your 80th day in a row.
Yeah. This AI
It does look kind of like a line of cocaine down there. You know, it's just like, I need
You look charged up.
Yep.
I look like a Muppet version of myself. Kind of, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're gonna make a
Hogue
Muppet
looks
of me.
too happy. He's way too excited, by the way.
He really is.
This is what I look like when I play Skull and Bones.
Jesus.
Oh no. Yikes, don't you start. We're not ruining this episode with that talk. All right. What was I gonna say? So Dan, I wanna just kick this off right out the gate with your first appearance on Bitcast, which this is going back, like I said, let me find the exact date. I had it here. It is Bitcast 24, which is what you said. And you guessed it before that a couple times, I found as well.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, 24 was your first actual episode where you joined me and Bert fully on April 23rd, 2018. That show got a mammoth 3 likes, which were probably the 3 of us. So we were crushing it.
We had no audience. It was great. It was a lot less
awesome.
pressure back then.
Yeah. Those times are fun. I have virtual legalities that have like 12 views.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I mean that Bitcast got 82 views, which was big numbers.
Yeah.
For us at the time, we were about 20 to 30 views a week. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's a good time. But the episode we were talking about the Switch, Dark Souls Remastered was just coming out. And this is you talking about playing Dark Souls from 6 years ago, which you weren't as worn down at the time. You were more vocal about the difficulty. But this is Dan from 2018 on his first Bitcast.
I played it. I suck at it. If I had it on my Switch, I would probably throw it. So it's probably safer for me to, I've got several controllers. I can go through that. I can't really throw my Switch and then just go buy a new one like it's nothing. But all those Dark Souls games, that are out. I mean, I think they're ridiculously hard. Do I like trying? Yeah, I like trying them. I try to play them. I've got all 3 of them. I've played all 3 of them at some point, and doesn't matter. I still keep playing them. I still keep buying them. Like, oh, that's Bloodborne. Oh, that's free. I guess that'll be fine. Same thing. Yeah. Same thing. I play it for like 20 minutes. I literally in Bloodborne, I can't even get past the first area. And Dark Souls, when I played that for the first time, I got to the camp right after the tutorial. Apparently, I pissed off the ghost that was sitting there, and he kept killing me over and over and over again until I said, "What am I doing? I've got other games I can play. This is ridiculous."
Yeah, that's. I feel exactly the same way as I did then, as I do now. So yeah, I still buy them. I still ask at them, and I would definitely. I'm less angry, I guess. That would be, I'm much more mellow these days than.
You still had hope in your eyes back then.
Yeah, it seems like you've been through 6 years of Souls games since then.
Yeah,
I like how your background was like professional back then.
Black wall.
I want to talk about Ains's office, right? I know we're supposed to comment on Dan, but that set, is that a plasma sword on your wall? I mean, you're all out.
Yeah,
that was, what was that? April? That was just before I moved, so that was my old house. And I was in a corner of the game room.
Crazy. Yeah. It looks like you're about to sell me insurance.
I know the camera angle I used was not the best. Yeah, you saw like half desk. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So we have Mr. Boomstick dropping by, one of my good friends that I got to hang out with in LA again for the first time since E3 2019, I think this year, which was really cool. Let's bring him on. Boom! You don't have your camera on, my friend. How we doing?
No. I'm under the weather, brother. I'm
sorry to hear it.
Yeah, no, I've been battling a migraine for a day and a half. I feel terrible, but I would have felt worse if I didn't take 10 minutes out of my day to stop by for something. Because listen, look, the one thing anyone that watches podcasts, it's very easy to go onto your YouTube app and see a thumbnail and click on it and go and watch people talk for 2 hours, 3 hours. But it's the behind the scenes that people don't understand. And when you see someone like yourself and this crew that you have here, and of course, Travis and Hogue and Dan, you come here every week, you put on an amazing show. You guys have a lot of fun. You can tell that you're having fun. You may not always agree, which is very apparent, but it's fine. It's it's okay. But to get to 300 in anything is incredibly difficult. And again, I say this all the time, YouTube specifically, it's vast. Sure, there are trolls. Sure, there's hate or rage content, but there is a lot of talent and there are a lot of amazing shows out there. So to be consistent, to be still here after as many shows as you've done goes to show a couple of things. One, your tenacity is unwavering. And more importantly, that you care about the work that you put on and that the people that tune in. And that's a really big deal.
Appreciate you, Boom. Yep, I appreciate you. We've talked a lot about this in person. It was great getting to catch up with you again in LA. I was just telling the guys last month. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you as always, and hope that you get over a migraine, man. That's no fun at all. So
it is what it is. Yeah, it's fine. It's it happens from time to time, and listen, it is what it is. But look, at the end of the day, I saw Dan's story about the Souls game. Dan, I'm right there with you, brother. I suck at them. I don't play any of them. But strangely enough, I was able to destroy almost every boss boss in Elden Ring, except for the last one. And I have tried. I had that Loch Ness monster thing down to a piece of health, and it just flew all the way down. And I said, one of the things that aggravated me about that particular wasn't the first guy, you just run through him. He's easy. It's the Loch Ness monster that they don't give you your steed. Like, I used my steed for everything, especially the Radan. Yeah, the Radan battle. You needed it. Like, you couldn't just run around on foot. He'd destroy you. And I know recently they added that you can. So I'm going to go back and let me give it the old college effort, because I got to beat that game. I mean, my God, do I have to beat that game. But I wanted to be. And look at these fine gentlemen here. Of course, Luke Lore. We got a chance to hang out with also. And of course, the Wandering Dutch gentlemen. Great to have you here. I know you were asking to see if we had any like stories, if you will. I don't know. I mean, I can say that one of the more recent ones, and I was sitting actually in front of you and Luke when the Gears Zero, the E-Day trailer happened, and you saw me like literally jump out of my seat. Like it was a nostalgia grab. Like, we all kind of knew we were going to get something. Most of us were really hoping that we'd get something Gears. But I had absolutely no idea that the Coalition was going to return to what we all look at Gears. Like, Gears 4 and 5, they're fine. I very much enjoyed 5. 4 was okay. It was okay. The kids, just not my favorite characters. But when you go back to the beginning, and we're going to get a chance to see and actually play where, we're hopefully going to see what happens, how they meet up with Cole and Baird, right? I'm assuming we're going to see Marcus get taken to prison potentially. Again, I don't know if this is going to be a one-off or it's going to be a trilogy. I'm not exactly sure. But the fact that they're going back to what made Gears great, that claustrophobic, tight corridor shooting. And of course, we're all assuming it's going to be survival horror because it's E-Day just happening. People are dying left, right, and center. So, if I have a story to tell, it's my literally jumping out of my seat. It was just incredible. But yeah, man, I wanted to pop in for a few minutes. I just wanted to say, guys, I am incredibly proud of you, Travis, the work you continue to do. Of course, Hogue and Dan and yourself, Ains. Listen, here's to another 300, because again, I said it in the beginning, the tenacity that you guys have, even when you don't agree, to put on a good show and a well-informed show is very hard to do, and you pull it off every week. So I just wanted to pop in, say hello, of course, congratulate you four gentlemen, and wish you another successful 300 episodes.
Appreciate you, Boom. Yeah, I think the being at the show again is always memorable. But what happened when E-Day debuted this year was something for us.
It really was to be
hardcore. So
I say to be ass in seat in that auditorium when this happened is something that I'm probably never going to forget. Plus, being surrounded by so many amazing creators is what really made it special.
Yeah, it was great. So, Boom, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you stopping by.
No problem.
And hope you feel excuse me, hope you feel better soon, man.
I certainly will. I took my migraine medication. I'm probably going to go and put ice on my head, and I should be okay. But gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your show. Congratulations again.
All right, Boom. Thank you, man. See ya.
Does anybody else get the feeling whenever they talk to Boomstick that he's about to ask them to vote for him as governor of New Jersey?
New York. Don't say New Jersey. New York.
No, that's just the sense I get from him. I feel like he's about to announce his candidacy for governor of New Jersey.
What's going on, gentlemen? Good to see Mr. Wandering Dutch, Mr. Luke Lore, and Mr. Risk It for the Biscuit himself. How we doing, boys? I'm trying to figure out the best way so 300 is not covering up you guys there. We'll put it right under Luke's chin. It's perfect.
Good to see everyone.
I wanted to come in, Ains, specifically because I cashed a check recently that forces me to legally and bindingly say Skull and Bones, a game that you should all play, a game that is great. Luke, please read this live on air. Copy Hogue. All right, cool.
They'll never do that again.
Hey, man, I'm here for the money. Congrats on 300, guys. Really, really, and truly. You guys are awesome. Good role models. You guys make great content. You're great friends. And to echo Boom, it was awesome being there with you guys in the room, being around all those creators, but also just thanks for all the great content. We really appreciate it as consumers of that content. So you guys are awesome. Congrats.
Thank you, Luke. Yeah, it's absolute. If you didn't know or haven't paid attention to our content or Luke's content, it was the first time Luke and I have been doing content together for years now. But it was the first time we got to meet in person actually last month and hang out, and it was a great time. It was fantastic, and it was great. I will say Rick has a different thought, Luke, and says that covering your face as much as possible is the best approach. So I don't know.
Man, it hurts. It hurts. I mean, you can tell that I really put in the work to get ready for this. I wasn't playing Flintlock, listening to episode 300, be like, oh, I'm supposed to join them. Pause. Oh my gosh, because that is literally what happened. I was like, wait, he said, come on. I was like, all right. I'm
it
here.
Shows. It shows.
Yeah. It's the effort we put into Cast Co-op.
I have a question for you.
What's up, buddy?
Which of your Weasley brothers is your favorite?
That hurts on a lot of levels. It hurts on a lot of levels. Mainly because he's a ginger, and I'm in denial of the red hair that I
have bad news for you.
I know. It hurts. It hurts. The other part isn't Ron Weasley kind of like the quiet hero of Harry Potter? Is that true? He's kind of like the one that carried Frodo, but everyone loves Frodo. That's how I think of it.
So you thought of yourself as the hero?
I often do.
Is it Longbottom or what's his name? Isn't that the hero?
Neville.
Neville. No.
I think Neville turned out to be a hero. That man, that boy changed into a man. Very, very.
I'm still waiting on that for me.
The boy in the series. Weasley still looks the same, unfortunately.
It's too bad.
Yeah. He's a funny dude, though, in real life. Dutch, how we doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. Thank you for the invite. Unlike a few of these chaps here, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yourself in person.
Not yet.
But it's a much further distance for me than it is for half of these chaps, apart from Riskit, who's the opposite side of the planet.
Yeah. He's in the future. I think it's tomorrow for him right now, right? So, yeah.
I loved you in Ragnarok, Dutch.
Thank you.
Good to see you hang the axe up at the back there. That's cool though, that axe, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's
really
very
good.
Yeah. I keep hoping to get the Gamescom one of these years because I know all my kind of UK brethren or kind of Western Northern Europe, there would be a lot easier to catch up with a bunch of you, but haven't had it happen yet. 1 year. Yeah. Some guy I know is getting married next month kind of threw a wrench into my plans in August. It's what an asshole, right?
Ridiculous.
So,
selfish.
I know. Selfish is the right word. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
but it's been a blast getting to know you. Of course, one of the reasons, among with a couple of other podcasts, that we started our podcast in the first place was through Season Gaming, and obviously I jumped onto your show before Hogue, and Thai Guy Travis jumped on as well, and of course since then you've been an awesome quartet that have been doing great things. Hogue, it was great to see your recovery. And of course, it was horrible to see that first and what happened to you. But great to see you recover from that and the leaps and bounds that you've come on over that. So that was great to see. Thai Guy Travis, you've done awesome work on every platform, including IGN, even though I despise IGN. Your work in itself is great. So I can't knock that in the slightest. You're great. Again, great quartet of hosts. Dan, of course, always the same. A great dude.
Oh, wow.
Loved podcasting with you in the past. Hope we do again in the future. But it's been a privilege watching you guys kind of going from strength to strength over the years, and long may it continue.
Well said, Dutch. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. appreciate the kind words. So I know we are Cog. Good morning, my friend. How we doing?
Good morning. Look at all these faces. Look what's going on in here.
Good to see you, buddy.
It's good, man. Big cast, man. What's up?
Yeah. People swinging by. So guys, it's up to you. I know, Luke, you said peace. Dutch, you said your piece. I get the biscuit here, but yeah, you are welcome to hang out. You're welcome to go. There's no cadence here to what we're doing. We're just hanging out. So
then I'm going to take my exit so you can spotlight these amazing people. Just really proud to know you guys, really proud to be friends, seeing Cog jump in, seeing Risk It for the Biscuit and Dutch and so many other people. It's cool to be a part of this community, and I thank you for welcoming me in. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, Teach.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one,
man.
guys. Take care.
Later.
Gotta
Biscuit.
get that guy an apple.
Man, that's a hard act to follow, Dutch. I don't know if I can do that much praise. But yeah, it's not in my nature. Yeah, you guys are absolutely amazing. It's great to meet Ains, Cog, Hogue. I don't think we've ever met. Ty, we had you on the show. That was great to have you on, talking about frameworks and reviews and should we have one, should we not? Always an interesting conversation. I sort of have turned around a little bit on IGN, by the way, Dutch. When you said that, I was like, IGN is it's a conglomerate, right? But it's a whole bunch of different individual people. So not every, I mean, you sort of come to understand if you open your mind. Each review is different from a different person. So I mean, I think we had this conversation, Ty, where you just start following like different people in their reviews and check to see who's doing that review, and if you sort of gel with that person's point of view on most genres, games, all that sort of stuff. I personally. We won't get into the bias conversation, but I personally think that, there's people with bias, there's people without, and you just find the people that you like and the people that you don't. I do like your reviews though, hi guys. So yeah, I sort of, the conglomeracy I don't like, but anyway, we're talking about IGN too much and ties.
You're off on a tangent here, my friend.
You'll unfollow me again. But yeah, you guys are absolutely, the 300 shows is an amazing achievement. Hogue as well, I wanted to say, I know we never met or spoken, but yeah, man, I followed your trials, tribulations, and it was good to see you recover, man. I think the whole community was behind you on that one. So
not me.
There was an amazing amazing recovery. And Ains, you do got to get out to Gamescom, dude. I mean, I'll be there this year. I don't think I'll make it next year. Because I got to pick one or the other. It's either LA or it's Germany. So I can't take that much time off, unfortunately. My boss isn't as nice as I would like her to be. But thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate the invite. And it's good to see you hitting that 300 mark. And I don't know if my show will ever hit the 300 mark, dude. That seems like a massive mountain to climb. So yeah, congratulations on 300. That's amazing. That's an achievement. And the community as well, man. The community that we have, I think, as a wider group, it's just really cool. You can reach out to anyone and like ask for advice or just hit them up or something funny. Like, yeah, it's an amazing thing. It's something I didn't know existed. Shout out to Dealer. Dealer's the one that sort of brought me into that. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It's good to see you guys hit 300, and here's to 300 more. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. By the way, when you do the Bitcast, or you got to do it with a little bit of passion, man. It's like Aussie. So you gotta really push it out there, right? And then you get the last ones. And Bitcast, Bitcast, you know.
Looking at the wrong guy here. Wrong choice.
He delivered it like pretty flat statement. Just Bitcast, you know. It's okay.
I mean, it's our worst. This is the thing I say about Australians. We have like the UK guys from the UK have the best chance. They come up with the best chance, and Aussies, all we got is that one single chance. So we put everything into that.
Biscuit, thank you for stopping by, man. I appreciate you. Hopefully we get to hang out again in the future. It was great hanging out with you last year, and just thank you. Appreciate it.
We got to talk. We got to talk quest logs, man. At some time, you know.
Stop it. We're not doing that here. Not doing it. All right, John. Welcome, my friend. How we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't want to storm my way in front of the queue of these
Yeah. I got called up next here because I know I'm trying to keep. We all know how this goes. We try to keep a quick cadence with people coming in and out. So
all at the same time. Yeah,
exactly.
It's always the way. But it's good to see you guys, and I'm literally just trying to avoid my kids right now. It's a weird one. I have to do a podcast that I hope is 2 hours and ends up being 5 hours with Nick every week, right? And I always know all about long shows. I went to bed at like 3:30 last night, and I'm just wrecked. But I wanted to pop in and congrats to you guys on 300 and talking amusing stories just for amusement because the way group. Before I even knew about Season Gaming and Bitcast, I'd reached out to Hogue like back in 2019 when the Bungie rumors were rocking around, and we posted that article that got us in trouble saying we think. And this was the funny thing about it. This is the funny story, right? If you wanted stories, here's a story. The funny thing about it is it wasn't our story. It was a rumor that was already existed. I think that Grub had started, that Bungie was investigating being acquired. And we saw these things that had happened with all these other acquisitions. And it was like a legal entry. We're not lawyers. We didn't know shit, right? And we forgot that we weren't posting on a forum anymore, So we were like, oh, look, this is interesting. And we posted it, and Hogue was really kind about it. Instead of being a dick, right, like many others, he was kind about it. He was like, I can understand why you thought that, but it might not necessarily mean that thing. In hindsight, though, kind of feel like we were right. Like I'm just saying they were bought. So that was my first interaction with some of the folks on this group. So it's love you guys. And it was always good to meet you out in LA and stuff like that.
Yes. Hey John, I want to ask, because every time we've had Nick on, like the show goes much longer, right? You tack on minimum an hour, right? But
minimum, the only time I've had Nick on, it's been like 5 hours long.
When you hang up and you jump into the green room, it's another 3 hours that we're talking about footy. And is that a standard? That's a standard.
It's absolutely standard. The man, and look, I don't know if is this a PG-13 show or can I be British?
Somewhere in between. Don't give me full British.
Okay. Nick does not know when to shut the front door. And that is just who he is. But like, God love him. He's just endlessly. The thing with Nick is, if you actually listen to him, he did it on the show last night. He makes a point, and we're like, and then he will make that point 4 more times and end with something like, I don't know. And then that's it. He's 6 or 7 iterations of that point. But yeah, that is Nick.
That's so true.
Honestly, if you listen to the Xbox Series podcast and you hear that, you'll suddenly be like, oh God, he is doing that. It's like when if you're a Muse fan and someone points out to you, hey, Muse? Yeah, I really like him. Matt Bellamy. Every time he sings, just before he sings a line, just listen to that big intake of breath, and it will ruin all Muse songs for you for the rest of your life. That is the same thing. It will ruin Nick for you, but lots of people love him. But anyway, look, I won't hog much time. And my kids want dinner, and apparently that's like a thing I have to do as their parent or something. But slight tease, Ains, Hogue, and Travis, I have a thing I want to talk to you guys about. So when you've next got some time, even if it's later on today, your time. Give me a shout. #secret project.
They are aware. Yes, they are aware.
Are aware. Good.
Yeah.
Cool. And Dutch, love to see you, man. I haven't spoken to you in ages.
Yes.
And obviously Cog as well.
My brother, what's going on?
I got to hand it to call. John, thank you so much, man. It was an absolute pleasure getting to hang out with you and your lady last month, and I hope we get to do it again, man. Shame I can't be in Gamescom. I was just joking that some selfish person's getting married and taking up my time and money in August.
Absolute joke.
I know, it's ridiculous. And anyway,
maybe legendary
to Ains in 3 different countries. I really
But John, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good rest of the night, and we'll obviously be in touch very, very soon. I'll shoot you
no worries.
today.
Have a great 300. Here's to 300 more. All the best to you guys.
Thanks, John.
Catch you later.
Let me get to Cog because I know you've got always have your own thing going on, man. So let me get to you. I know Dutch, Biscuit, like I told the other guys, completely up to you. We're on our own cadence here. We're just hanging out. You're welcome to just hang out. You're welcome to take off. Completely up to you. So play it by ear. But Cog, how we doing, my friend?
How we doing? I'm doing good. It's rare that I get a chance to hang. Obviously, Sunday's the ILP day, so it's I always catch you guys after.
kind of thing. But first of all, I want to congratulate you because 300, man, the consistency with that's no easy feat. And getting the personalities together, I feel, is pretty amazing because I remember from the onset, Ains, when you started talking, and I was like, all right, I learn about you, I learn about your story, seasoned game, and got in touch with Dan. And Dan's like the grumpy OG that I like. he don't like certain change. He's a man that's stuck in his ways with certain things, but actually, shout out to you on your college football preview review, because you were the one that actually pushed me over the edge to actually try it, because I didn't want to trust EA. I wasn't sure if they were going to put out a quality game. I don't want to get hurt. But anyway.
You still don't have to.
Yeah. No, I played. I love it. So no, I remember, learning about you guys, and obviously, Ains, you've been there for so much for us as far as ILP and so many big events and things like that. And I was just like, man, just to see them continue that growth. And I remember when you guys moved over to Sunday, and I'm like, yeah, man, it's all good. Like, because we moved out of that spot anyway, so it just worked out. You know what I'm saying? And I remember having those discussions, just honest discussions and professionalism. And then we brought in the Hogue. And I was like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Getting this man right here who's extremely knowledgeable in corporate.
We were trying to be professional, and then we brought in Hogue. You know what I mean?
Mergers and acquisitions. And it's funny because I remember seeing Hogue for the first time, I believe, Easy Allies. And I was like, yo, who is this guy? Like, he is super knowledgeable, and he's a gamer too. Like, what's going on? And as us as gamers, we think we know what happened, how the proceedings are going and stuff like that, and to see his trajectory. And I remember when you made the announcement that you're bringing him on, and I'm like, oh, Bitcast is about to be lit. This is going to be a thing. And obviously, Hogue, so much love for you, everything that you've gone through in the community. Every time I see you, I still smile. Like, I am so appreciative. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, we got a chance to hang out at the wedding and other numerous events and stuff like that. Hopefully, I'll see you in San Diego or something. But we'll see. Okay, you're going to be there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm in San Diego in September.
Oh, it's going to be lit. Shout out to Mrs. Hogue, the MVP. I see you in there, Mrs. Hogue. I want to shout you out. And then, of course, you bring in this other individual who I then meet, I believe was Fire Team Chat with my Destiny idiotic passion, this game that I will not, I refuse to let go. And I was like, who is this boisterous, energetic, hilarious, but extremely detailed and intelligent in terms of reviews and the structure of how video games work? And I was like, I like this kid. He's feisty, but I like him. And then lo and behold, he becomes a member of The Last Word, my Destiny podcast. And we continue our friendship. And obviously, we'll be seeing him soon for certain events.
Man.
Matrimonies.
He's getting ready to have a family.
Absolutely. But then when I seen, I think Dutch put it back, when I seen the quartet of you guys, I'm like, oh, this is going to work. This is gonna work. We've got a full podcast panel, super diverse, but at the same time, like giving different perspective. And I just want to salute you. That 300, man, that's no easy feat, man. So Iron Lord salute. Obviously, I can't stay too long because I got to get ready, deal with my maniacs on the other side. But I wanted to give you a shout because this is a level of consistency, a level of professionalism, and a lot of balanced, rational thinking. Now, you guys are never like over the top with stuff. And kind of reining in, and I like that. So yeah, salute, man. 300 episodes. I love the community. Obviously, Ains and everybody. Dan, we still haven't got to beat though. You got to get Dan outside. Dan, we got to get Dan. Come on now.
Good luck with that one.
Outside.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Well, I might be in KC, so we'll talk.
Oh yeah, that'll work. But thank you, man. Yeah, it's a sincere appreciation. Obviously, most respect. We talk about this all the time. But yeah, one of the things I actually remember and part of growing the community at the SG side was you guys having me on. We joked about that episode many times as I was racing home from my hockey game. And you guys waiting. You remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
I felt so bad. Yeah, I was literally sitting on your show sweating with coming home from my hockey game. But I'll never forget that, and I appreciate what you guys did for me very early on there, and it's been friendship ever since. In fact, I was going back through old episodes, and I think Bitcast 100, you and King were here, and I think we did that one together.
Yes,
and that was before Travis and Hogue were here, actually. Yeah. So yeah. Good times, man. Always good times. So,
but again, won't keep too much of your time. Everybody enjoy, and of course, risk it. Behave yourself. When I leave, I'm gonna make sure you behave. That's my man. Salute. But again, congrats on 300. Tremendous achievement. Much love from the ILP and the community, and I'll be seeing you guys, man. Salute.
Yeah, man. I'll talk to you soon, Cole. Thank you, man.
Have a good one.
See ya. All right. Oh, Dutch.
I was going to say one more thing, and I'll get out of here because it's late here. But the other thing I wanted to say was when I rolled up to LA, all the guys, I was nervous as hell, right? I'd never met anyone, and I know I seem quite boisterous or whatever. And yeah, I'll admit that I was.
Did you say seem quite boisterous?
But look, I was nervous as hell, man. Like I was arguing with myself internally. Should I leave the hotel room or just cancel this whole thing? Stay in the hotel room, play games the rest of it. I left, turned up, and everyone was just so welcoming and friendly, genuine, knowledgeable, and had time, and just made me feel welcome and in place. So yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone. Because I really appreciate it. It meant a lot. So yeah, congratulations on your 300 guys, and I hope you get to 300 more.
Yeah, thank you, Biscuit. Yeah, it was a pleasure last year, man. And I hope we get to do it again soon. We absolutely will. You know that. So take care of yourself. Get some sleep. I know that the time is all messed up over there. So
what time is it?
What time is it over there right now? Where you're at?
12 midnight.
Midnight. Okay. Yeah. So you're 13 hours ahead here. Yeah.
You can see the bags forming under the eyes.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you again.
See you guys.
Appreciate you.
Congrats.
All right. Thank you. Okay. We have another recent guest. One of my favorite people I got to meet in LA as well. Mr. Asante's here. Good morning, my friend.
What? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, gentlemen. Congratulations. I came in right as my friends left us. I'm gonna be seeing Wiskit very soon in August. I'm excited. So yes.
Yeah. You guys are both doing Gamescom, right? So is John.
Yes, we
as
are.
Well.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, I did see him as well. Yes. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
I suspect you guys are feeling quite old right now. 300 episodes and all that.
It didn't take this episode to do that. Yeah, that's pretty much every day. But yes.
We prefer seasoned over here.
Yes, exactly. Yes, absolutely. Like a fine wine. I understand. Yes.
But how are you doing, man? Everything good?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything's great. Of course, it being Sunday, it tends to be daddy duty day. So
of course,
I have promised to keep it short and succinct. That usually doesn't work out for me, but I'm gonna do my best.
Oh, sorry. I got is that the guy from the Halo show? Yes, unfortunately.
So that's what I'm here for, right? I'm here to just go ahead. The virtual tomatoes. Go ahead. I'll sit here. I'll wait.
Commander Keys is in the house, but the show is gone now anyway. So
I, for one, am sad about it. Unpopular opinion. I know. Unpopular opinion. It is what it is. I thought they were onto something after season 2, but hey, what are you going to do? It is what it is.
Yeah. No kidding. Well, man, I'm glad you could stop by. Like I said, it was absolute. We've talked many times now about the pleasure of hanging out last month. It's a shame I can't do Gamescom with you, but hopefully next year we'll do some more events together. And
absolutely. Yeah. No, I just had to come on and congratulate you guys in person. Well, in digital person, I should say. Even though I have been featured on your air a smattering of times. I am a loyal viewer of your show, whether it be in person or in the chat or after the fact. I always, as Cog was saying, there are many personalities in this here gaming space, and you guys, for me, are in the section of whenever I want to hear some real stuff, whenever when it's earnest and honest, whether I agree or I don't agree, because Hellblade 2 is actually really good. I still go there. I still come to your show and I still listen to you guys because I've been talking to a bunch of other content creators and we always talk about how a lot of the content creators regurgitate, if you will, the same talking points, the same information comes out and everybody wants to talk about it. And you go to your favorite content creator, not necessarily for the news, but their take on it and how they approach the news and how they approach the situation. And I really, really appreciate the way you guys do it. I'm an avid viewer and an avid reader of Seasoned Gaming because of that, right? The same news proliferates everywhere, but the way you guys approach it, your takes, the man with the tie who's very, very, very much, very much seasoned in his critique. I appreciate as well. What's going on, tie guy? So I always appreciate you guys and what you guys do. So I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to be, even in the smallest way, featured on your air and be able to tell you guys in person how much I appreciate what you guys do. So,
well, I will say, though I don't agree with you on Hellblade, that's okay.
Yes, yes.
I have been playing Fading Afternoon.
Oh yeah, yes. How is that?
And I have been enjoying it. You didn't warn me that it was a bit of a tragedy in a River City Ransom kind of world. So
yeah.
You talked about it earlier. I do recommend it. I think it's fun. It is much more complicated than I thought it would be, and it is a bit tragic. So
yes, absolutely.
If you want tragedy in your River City Ransom, check out Fading Afternoon.
It's the systems upon systems that impress me. When you look at it, you just go, it's River City Ransom, but it is so deeper than you'd think. It's really good. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Sante, thank you for the kind words, my friend. I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate the commentary. And as always, we'll continue to be in touch for future things, hopefully.
Absolutely. I will jump out because I'm sure the villagers will be restless and knocking on my door any moment now. It's Sunday, so I have to do something with them. But I will be watching. I keep my phone with me, headphones on, so I'll be listening in. I appreciate y'all so much. Congratulations on 300 episodes, gentlemen.
Thank you, my friend.
To 300 more, where you guys are on wheelchairs and talking about
if we're
Ring
lucky,
is not that difficult. By the way, I'm level 70 or so Elden Ring.
Okay.
I'm walking around with two swords, one made of ice, one made of fire. I call it the blades of ice and fire. I'm running around. It's a beautiful thing. I'm getting there.
Nice. I love to hear it.
So yes, since the show, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it another shot, and I've been playing ever since. So there you go.
Awesome. I love to hear that. So that game has converted many a people. So
yeah, man. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And then maybe I'll get to the DLC in like 2-3 years because that's what I
it's gonna be a while.
Late to the game. Yes, absolutely. But yes, I'll let you guys go. Always wonderful to chat with you guys. We'll talk soon.
Cheers. Asante. Talk to you soon, man. See ya. All right. Rapid fire guests here. While we're doing that, let's get caught up on some super chats, some member comments. Let's go.
Lord. One bad mother.
It's Abe.
Yep, Abe. With a $10 super chat. This show is the Dark Souls of gaming takes. Congrats on 300 friends. I don't know what that means.
It means we're hella good.
Yeah.
I think it means we're difficult to take.
That could be.
Probably both. Yeah.
Yep.
Fair enough. Abe, good to hear from you, man. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much.
MZ, a 21-month member, which is awesome. Wishing Hogue and Season Gaming crew 300 more shows. Your Bitcast commentary often illuminates and banter cracks me up. Stay as yous are. Fun. Yeah.
Stay as yous are.
Yous.
Yeah. Second person plural. Have fun with it, folks. Absolutely.
I love it.
Thank you, Em. Appreciate the member comments. We've got yes.
Unfortunate initials for $2. You all brighten my day. Thank you. Well, thank you, BS. Yeah.
Awesome. Are we calling BS on that? But thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that. Bizzle, one of our OGs.
Bizzle, yeah, been here since very, very early. With a $20 super chat. Congrats on 300. Been great watching this show grow over the years, and I look forward to many more to come.
Thank you, Bizzle. Appreciate that. Always good to see you. And yeah, as I've talked to the hardcore Gears fans, so going back to the story Boom was talking about with Gears E-Day, super pumped. He also has a member comment to follow this up.
I feel really bad for the people who watched this show before Hogue and I were on it and really liked it, and then like we just ruined it for them.
Killed it.
Yeah,
he killed it.
Can you imagine that? Liking the show, and then just Hogue and I,
like
just
30 people, just
man. When you say that until you see my Bitcast 0 intro, and you'll be like, oh
yeah, we got to get to that stuff.
Yeah. It was way worse than I imagined.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Bizzle with the member comment. Got to run, fellas. Have a great show. I'll catch the replay as soon as I get home. Thank you again, Bizzle. You're awesome.
Bizzle. Yes, thank you very much, Bizzle. Christy
with another member comment. Deb versus Herd got me here. Saw Hogue with EDB. Is that
Emily B. Baker?
Yeah, see, I got it and joined. So, well, thank you, Christy.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Dark side.
Mr. Mariano Pampa himself.
Yes, with the 5 season gaming memberships. Thank Pomps.
Thank you, awesome. Pomp. Appreciate you. Hope Sunday's not going too poorly for you. Tao
with $10 super chat. Lord Cog, we need a panel meets season gaming fight club.
I'll send that to him, Tao, so he sees it via DM.
He said he was down somewhere.
Yeah,
before he left. So,
did he?
Is that in video game form, or do I have to work out some?
Yeah.
Yes, both. We believe me. As someone who has hung out with Cog and King many times, we don't want that fight.
I've seen your social media, Ains. You're a strong-looking guy.
I'll be okay. I could run if I need to. But yeah. Tal, thank you very much. Kevin,
we'll just use Travis as a shield.
Travis. I'll just push Travis in front and run. One of those.
I'll just pick him up and just twirl him around. Kevin, I'm assuming Ganell with $1.
Yeah, just $1. No message, just supporting the channel. So Kevin, and he's a new member as well.
Also
just joined the channel as well.
Even better.
Yeah, on the Hogue side. So Kevin, thank you very much. Crazy by proxy.
Member comment. Happy 300. Here's to the next 300. Thank you. Crazy by proxy. That's
Appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, we are all caught up. So boys, I want to talk about No Man's Sky.
Zero? Oh.
No. Actually, yes. That's a good shout. We will go. Who is next? No, I'm saving episode 0 for the end because I quickly want to go off air after that show, so I don't have to ever show in front of anyone again. So we will go with Travis. The first clip of Travis joining the panel. And you made some sort of quip as you typically do. But here is Travis's first full appearance on Bitcast. And by the way, this show has aged you, my friend.
Has it?
You look, you maybe it's the glasses, I don't know, but you look younger in this clip. But here we go. From, what did I say the date was? Bitcast 163 on July 25th, 2021. So 3 years ago, almost to the day.
Let's see it.
But if you're a regular listener or a viewer and joining us right now live in the chat, Travis, you know him well, I believe. Most of our community knows him well. Ran a fire team chat over at IGN with Destin. Has been part of The Last Word and some of the things that Cog and the guys over at Iron Lords have done. Did an industry perspectives with him recently, our Halo roundtable. So I think you're very familiar with him. But he is joining our panel permanently as we look to kind of realign what we're doing with the show and take it in a different direction, which I'll speak about in just a moment. But Travis, man, good to have you.
Thank you, McClunky. It's great to be here on Seasoned Gaming, my favorite video game cooking website.
That's what we aim for, man. That's what we aim for.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey, if we can get the cooking audience, we'll be
huge.
in.
It's a huge market.
You just, something clicked as you said that. I need to capitalize on the SEO for the cooking market with
absolutely,
with the
site.
I can start doing it from my kitchen.
There you go. Yeah. A little apron on. Yep.
Yeah, at the very least, you can get the ads for all the cooking services on Season Gaming.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So you started Foodcast is what I've discovered earlier, or yesterday when I was putting these together.
He's trying to get you some Home Chef sponsorships.
Trying to
took the glasses back off. Yeah. Elu said that was Jimmy Neutron, by the way, in episode 163.
I actually think it is the glasses. I do look younger, or maybe I just can't see well enough to know that I look old. Let me see.
Almost 3 years to the day, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
Man, I look so much older. It's crazy.
I don't know. I think the tie and the shirt combo looked a little bit like when you see an elementary schooler dressing up, and you're like, "That's adorable," but it doesn't look quite right.
It's adorable. One of our favorite members who's been on many shows through the years here has joined us several times. Mr. Jackson, how we doing, my friend?
My favorite guest. My favorite. I love Eric.
Oh, you're on mute, my friend.
Yep. Cannot mute.
You would think I've done this 100 times, right? Where you like to turn the mute off, right? How unprofessional of me.
Good to see you.
You too, man. How's it going?
It's going well, man. Going very well. We were, if you don't know, Eric's in Florida, and so he and I were DMing like crazy during the Panthers run up through the Stanley Cup champions. Actually, now,
yeah, Ames was talking me through it, man, keeping me off the ledge because I was just it was going so beautifully, and then it just like I was like, what's going on here, But ultimately, it ended up being a great series because we came out on the right side of that. But yeah, it was awesome though, man.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So, but yeah, you haven't been on a little while. But yeah, every time we're talking about guests, we're talking about people we want to have on. That's Dan, man. He's like, oh, what's Eric doing? Get Eric on the show.
Yeah. I heard you guys talking about like a cooking segment. I think that would be great, Dan. I think that's your calling. I'll gladly guess, man. We'll show gamers how to put the Dorito bags down and cook some semi nutritional meals.
Okay, now
you're going to Dan for that.
Yeah. I need to take the burrito bags and incorporate them somehow.
Semi-nutritional can still be a cheeseburger. There's protein in that.
Depending on how you analyze. Yeah, so that's fair.
That's fair. I'm okay with that.
But no, congrats on 300, man. That's huge, man. And I'll tell anybody who tunes in, you guys do it the right way, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. Great show, great panel. You guys keep it, as the young ones say, keep it a buck. You guys are bussing. Whatever they say.
I'm not saying these words because I don't know what they mean.
I know what it means.
I am in fact bussin', no cap.
It's like old slang now. It's all old.
That's passe now, right, Travis?
It's passe.
They're not doing that anymore. That's so
keep it a buck. He means keep it 100. $1. 100 cents.
100 cents. Man. That is a dollar. That checks out.
100 emoji. I look. I barely understand what's happening on social media, so y'all have to help me.
Yeah. I'm okay with that though, Hogue. Like I'm fine. Just kind of sitting back and watching things change week to week. This week this is in, next week that's not. I was in line at Disney World with my daughter this past week, and someone non-ironically was talking about something being mid and using some of the other terms that I use kind of jokingly in this space because I don't know how to use them. And I turned to her and I said, do you guys actually use that one? And she's like, oh yeah, we use that all the time. I was like, okay. But it is interesting to go out into the real world and hear that language used and feel real seasoned. Well, yeah, I come from the time where that was fly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have an afro when that was popular?
No, afros weren't. It was the kid in play.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually
that's
cool
dope.
Look.
That's hype. That's fly. All that stuff.
Man.
And I did have the high top.
Did you roll up your jeans, like cuff them?
Oh
yeah.
Tight cuff. I did it all the time. Back in the 90s, baby.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are actually old. That's like movie stuff. That's like Travis watching a VHS.
Polka dot shirts were in vogue. If you had a polka dot shirt, you were the man.
You had a polka dot shirt, you were the man.
Don't ask me why. Polka dots and that. You guys remember, like in a certain range.
Oh, I know.
Amazing.
I don't know why it was polka dots, but that was it.
I can't pretend to ever have been fresh enough for polka dots.
It was a look.
I believe that.
But Hogue, you had to have your hair sideways with a little blonde part right here. Lines in your eyebrows.
No, I had the really like bold lined polo shirts and Henleys and things. That's me in the 80s and 90s.
Wow.
2 decades, just polo shirts with stripes.
Patent leather shoes with the buckles on them.
Well, hey, you didn't ask me to join this podcast for my fashion sense. I think I've demonstrated that for years.
If anyone's seen me, it's not my forte either. But
no.
Holly, Ben. Oh, sorry, Dan, not to cut you off, but I want to at least.
I just remember a lot of Aquanet.
I'll do this. Aquanet,
Aquanet. Woof. They still sell that,
So much.
You can go in the Dollar Tree and it's there.
Oh, well, okay, that's fair. Yeah.
That
it's destroying the ozone layer one bottle at a time, my friend.
Googling Aquanet. One sec.
Aquanet? Oh, yeah.
It was the superior, like the 80s haircuts and girls' hairstyles would not have been a thing if Aquanet had not been invented.
No,
it's true.
Wow.
It's
like,
true.
like 7-inch bangs.
You could hold
up and
pictures
down.
on your wall with Aquanet.
Seriously, yeah. One cam will do it.
Yeah.
One cam especially.
I don't know about who has kids on this panel, but if you've noticed, like the 80s are coming back, like the colors, the styles, the looks. I'm like, what? I see these kids now, and I'm like, what the hell's? We got rid of the 80s on purpose. Like, why are we doing this?
Are you kidding? It's an amazing aesthetic. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. No, my teenage daughter is very 80s focused. I got, not to bring this back to gaming for a second, but
no,
I got the Nintendo World Championship game that came out this last week. And their entire aesthetic is like 80s, vaguely a little bit 90s, with like the grid on the bottom and the neon purple and blue. And my daughter comes in and says, "Oh yeah, that's 80s as heck." And she's just all in. I mean, she's a big Stranger Things fan. She's singing "Running Up That Hill" to me. So it's a whole thing in the Hogue house.
Yeah, same with my daughter. We raised her on the 80s and 90s, like music wise. She doesn't even really know like a lot of the top 40 stuff now. Is there even top 40 still?
That's smart, actually. That's way better than than what's going out there today. So I can't blame you.
It's brutal out there on the music scene. I'm like, what is this?
If you want some amazing, just real fast, it's total promotion for this band called Gunship. They are like they do like a lot of like 80s style, but electronic, but it's current, that's now, and it's top notch. So good. And they have epic art styles. They just did this 90s anime style video, and it's really cool. And they actually went and they sold VCR tapes of the 90s anime that they had made as like an ultra limited edition. Do you want like a VCR tape
that actually
literally
works,
have no way to watch it? Yeah, no, it works. Wow. It's there. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
That's awesome. Incredible. No, you're good. I just took a note down. Gunship. All right. Well, I need to preface that this is what it's called. This was not my name for it, but I'm old enough to remember that when anime first was coming over here and getting popular, it was called Japanimation. It wasn't even called anime at the time.
Yeah.
Travis, do you remember that? He's like, no, I don't. No, I have nothing to do with
what you had for
breakfast.
Start there.
Yeah. But Holly, Ben, not to interrupt someone now, our fan art brethren here and good friends, of course. How we doing? How's everything going for you guys?
Doing well. Thank you for having us on. This is exciting. Congratulations, 300. I mean,
thank you,
that's very impressive.
Wildly, Ben and I did not plan to come on at the same time at all. Like when I popped in,
I figured you guys coordinated this.
No, not at all. That's just how in sync we are, right?
There you go. So for anyone who follows and knows the Xbox coins that we've promoted and shared out and sent out, Ben and Holly collaborate on those. Ben's the designer and obviously works with fan art and got some other things cooking that we won't mention on the show, of course. But and thanks to Holly for coordinating everything around it. So you guys are awesome. And as always, fantastic to hang out with you last month in LA. I hope we get to make that a regular thing. But yeah, man, I appreciate you two stopping by and at least hanging out with us for a little bit in this ridiculous show we're putting together here, just hanging out.
So. Yeah. Thanks for having us on. When you were talking about it being all about community, this our coin project. Thank you so much, by the way, for giving them out and supporting everything. I've been blown away by the support by everybody. A lot of people in the community haven't hesitated to support it. So yeah, I'm happy to come on here and
they're really cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Stuff. It's really fun to be able to do and see the reception. So we're happy to contribute in a tiny little way.
No, but shout out to you as well. For those who don't know, we're kind of undergoing, you might have noticed the new Bitcast thumbnail, and we're kind of undergoing some kind of redesign of some of the aesthetics of season gaming, which we do, every couple of years, right? Like a refresh, and Ben's helping an awful lot with that as well. So just awesome designs, graphic artists, talent, So super appreciative, man. Seriously, it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to do some more. This border you have here is beautiful, but I'm not taking credit for this one.
That was pieced together. we were talking yesterday, and like, where were you going? You were in the car in the passenger seat working on the thumbnail while your wife drove, as I was texting you driving to Kansas City for Extra Life, and then we're like trying to coordinate on this while we're both in cars. It was something. So.
Yeah, I knew time was limited. I saw my bars I was hotspotting from my phone, and I saw like the signal just going down. So I knew I had to get it out. So we made it happen.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, but with that, anything you guys want to share? Like we said, we're just hanging out and letting people swing by. So I don't want to keep anyone. I know, we're just trying to keep it in and out to not waste too much of your guys' time. So anything you want to share? Otherwise, you can feel free to head out whenever you want, really, like I said. So
no, I'm just gonna say again, man, congratulations on 300. Guys, keep doing what you're doing. Stay slow and steady, like wins the race. I know nowadays, hyperbole and sensationalism is what shoots people to the top. But I'm always proud to be, in this guest crew and to be a part of this, because you keep it, on a level where I think people can appreciate what you do and know that the information that they're getting is solid, and it's not based on, trying to like rile people up and all those things. So, I've always appreciated it about this group. So yeah, keep going, man.
We keep it a buck here.
Keep it a buck.
Thank you, Eric, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Always a pleasure to chat with you. Good to see you. And I'm sure I'll be in touch.
Absolutely, guys. Have a good show.
All right, man. See you.
All right, later.
Trying to keep this. There we go. That's a little better anyway. Just kind of adjust in real time. Holly, what you been up to?
Oh man, life's been kind of crazy, kind of busy. So keeping up with that, and Ben's been working hard on something that's coming up very soon. So we finally had a catch-up call the other day just to say, hey, are you alive? What's going on? Right. But it was good. It was just like old times, I guess. And so we're looking towards the future now and focusing on, what's coming out in the next year. And, you're going to have a ton of people come through and talk about, your show, because it really is truly special. And, and everybody who said stuff, I agree 100%. And you're always just like so much fun to hang out with in LA. And I always enjoy all of that time. And Dan, when they were playing the video of you talking about Bloodborne, I felt it in my soul. It's like, yes. And I've got my Mesmer statue up there.
I see.
As an homage to you. Yeah. Nothing can compare to your collection because it's amazing. But I'll contribute in my little half-assed way compared to your game room.
I've got that sitting right there, actually. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I regret not getting the helmet. I gotta say, the helmet, when I've seen pictures of it, I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
And then Hogue, I've never actually been able to talk to you, but I gotta say, I followed all of your stroke videos and I watched everyone with you and Mrs. Hogue. I thought they were just the best, insightful, like honest, and really raised a lot of awareness. I thought it was great. It was really great. And I'm so happy to see that you just seem like the amazing, wonderful person that you were before all of that very unexpectedly altered your life. So it's really
very nice
great.
of you to say. Thank you. Yeah. I try, certainly. I actually feel, even on this episode, I'm being a little quieter because one of the things that I have a little bit more difficulty doing is kind of jumping in on conversations and not stepping on the end of somebody's sentence, because it's like a timing consideration, and doing it after the stroke has been a little tricky for me. So I try to give people their time to speak, and I'm still not great at it, as you will see on this episode and in other places on the internet. So I appreciate the kind words. The series was important to me, and I'm glad it got done.
The key,
and I'm sure that it raised awareness too for people who you know, nobody thinks about it, right? Like you don't think about it until it happens to you. So if you even put somebody else on a kind of a like, why do I smell burnt toast? Or, you know, like those, like all of those things, right? That you're supposed to know, but you don't really know, like, because now they have a connection to somebody who it did happen to through this kooky, silly internet thing that we do and Twitter raging. But Travis, we met on the Infinite podcast. You came on and took the heat, and it was very much appreciated. And the one thing I will say about all of you guys in your show, I lurk like every Sunday. I don't get in the chat much because, you know, but I do super appreciate in that you guys just talk about games and just overall industry stuff. It's never, you know, like it never has a hint of anything that's supposed to, you know, be one-sided or this sided or whatever. It's just truly honest, and that is what the industry needs, or what the podcast space is. It's a nice fresh breath of air, and I appreciate that very, very much.
I always find it funny, and I agree with you. Thank you for the kind words, but it's just it's always funny when we talk about we hear so many people say you know, we are even when we disagree, which the four of us disagree all the time. That's kind of the point, you know, in the sense of having different opinions on stuff. But when we hear things like that, Holly, where it's like, you guys, you know, just talk about gaming and, you know, your honest opinions, and it's not for sensationalism, right? And it's a breath of fresh air. It's like, should that be a breath of fresh air with the gaming podcast? Like, it shouldn't be, but it is, you know what I mean? Which is kind of strange at times. So
you're absolutely right. And that's spot on. Like, you're not doing anything that you shouldn't be doing, right? It just kind of highlights some, but you know, with everything there's always favorites and not favorites, and
of course
it is what it is. But then my last like super like you were not worthy comment for you guys is that like your vibe, the four of you, is just super gels, because I feel like you all have the same like chill ratio, but in a good way, right? That you can like razz each other and it's legitimately like no holds barred, but it all works out, right? Like, because you have like a good raises eyebrows. You just have a good chemistry between the four of you is the point, which is very hard to get on a show and keep it consistent.
You see, I hear that and I just look at Travis's face, and I think
he's studying right now. He's studying,
calculating. He's like, I haven't hit him hard enough.
So much. He's like, I need an Emmy. I hate these guys. I do study.
So
yeah, Ains, I noticed that when you asked me to come on, if I had any stories to share, the first thing I thought about was when we first met at FanFest a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You're very approachable, very nice guy. Felt like we instantly became friends, and we've hung out at the following couple FanFests, and we went to the Ubisoft event together. Yeah. And I just noticed anytime we go anywhere, everyone comes up to you and says the same thing, basically the same thing Holly just said. You guys are fair. You have thoughtful analysis. You don't say things just to have like crazy quotes clipped. So, you know, when you talk to me about doing some of the graphics and just being a part of it, you know, I'm actually proud to help you guys out in any way I can, because I really like what you have going.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's something. I don't know. It is kind of funny at times to think that trying to be even keel, I guess might be the word, is considered rarer. But no, I'm super appreciative. Everyone, I forget who it was talking about the community. It might have been Biscuit, was just talking about how welcoming the community was when he first came to the US last year, right? When we were all together in LA. And it is true. It's like, you know, everyone has kind of their own shows, their own creators, and you'll have, you know, ones you like and ones you don't, and all that's fair. There's different opinions and everything else. But when you're in the same room together and you get to events together, regardless of like if you disagree on opinions or run different shows or whatever it is, it's just like you're almost like family. And it's really, really cool. It's something that I don't take for granted. And just knowing, you know, we've Hogan the group here have talked a lot about that. To Holly's point, it's like you never know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like your life can instantly change one moment to the next. You can't take things for granted. So anytime we get to hang out, anytime we get to do an event like that and just, do things like that, I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you for the commentary, both of you, honestly.
Yeah,
just absolutely.
Thanks for having me on. I got to,
of course,
I got to hop off, but Ains, we're working on some stuff. So hopefully we'll get to show it pretty soon.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll just say stay tuned and let you say your thing when you're ready.
Right on. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon, Ben.
I'm gonna go too because when he leaves, I have to. No, I'm kidding. but,
it's a legal requirement.
Yeah. It's right. Like when the boss goes, right? No, but thank you all, and especially Ains, like for all the support too with fan art. You've just been like super supporter since day one, and Ben is working so hard, and he's such a genius, and he does a lot of great stuff, and it's really nice to have like good friends you can trust, and we consider you one of those. So thank you.
I appreciate that. And very excited about the future. So
yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Congratulations.
Holly,
Here's to another 3,000 more.
3,000. Wow. Definitely not.
All right. Bye.
We'll see you later, Holly. Bye.
Let's start with a nice 50 or so, guys. Isn't that like a year?
350. Yeah, that's something. Maybe. No, it's great having them stop by. It's cool having everyone come by, say nice things. And there's some a lot of the people that are coming on have some very cool announcements coming up soon. So more to come very shortly. Let's get caught up on super chats, memberships, everything else. So Debbie W, who I already complimented multiple times about her generosity, gifted 10 memberships on both the SG and the Hogue Law side.
That is awesome, Debbie. Thank you.
Yeah. Very, very generous. Thank you so much, Debbie. Awesome. And a member comment as well.
Debbie with it. Sorry. My dog just started barking for some reason. 80s had bad fashion, but some of the best music. I think they had some of the best of both.
I tend to agree with this comment, but I also agree with the earlier discussion that has pointed out that some 80s fashion is coming back. Like not everything, but it's clearly being adopted by teenagers at some level.
Yeah. Ironically. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's wild when I walk into stores now and I just see all the like bright pastel colors and the high tops and like all this stuff. And I'm like, what is going on?
And like the grids and the shapes, like the 90s Trapper Keeper style, whatever that's called. That's coming back too.
Yeah, that synthwave kind of look. Yeah. Debbie, thank you so much.
I'll permit you that you had the electric slide. That was 80s, right?
I think that's 70s, but I don't know.
No, I think
I think that's 80s. Yeah. I think
it was. The only reason I think it's in the 80s is because it was in the 80s section of the Dance Central time travel game where you went through all the eras. Come on, guys.
I will yield to your understanding of Dance Central, Travis.
That is all I know, really, when it comes down to it. When you really boil it down, I'm just a guy who knows about Dance Central.
But I do love 80s music as well. I love that sound and the synthesizers, and it's good to hear some of that come back.
I'm looking right now. The electric slide was created in 1976.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Good on you, dude.
Yeah, the 18-step
totally wrong in that game.
Well, there's different variations of it. The 18-step variation became popular in 89.
Yeah.
So that's the one we probably
I didn't even know it was a dance. I'm thinking of the music video with that lady that teaches you the electric slide.
Debbie something, right? Was it Debbie or am I thinking of something else?
Is that the music videos from the 70s? Because they all look 80s in that video. It's crazy.
The one thing I'll say about the decades is that in my experience, they usually go from the fives.
Yeah, I think you're right.
85 to 95 tends to look like what you think of as the 80s, and 75 to 85.
But this would be the opposite if it was 70. Yeah.
Well, Aiden says it's popular in 89.
Well, yeah, that's what Wikipedia said. So don't I'm just quickly looking it up.
Why it was?
That's crazy. Well, we can just edit that for Travis.
I'm older than the electric slide, so that's depressing.
Older than the electric slide.
Mr.
Rodriguez himself. But yeah, I agree. Bad fashion, good music. Yep. I yeah, 80s and 90s music still rocks with me. Eric, he left and gave us a super chat.
Just right on his way out. All right, buddy. For the $20, thank you again for having me on, guys. Congrats on the 300 episodes, and here's to the future. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah,
appreciate you.
One of our favorites. Thank you, Eric. Rick Davis.
Yeah, Rick Davis, a $5 super chat. Happy 300 season gaming Bitcast. Thanks for all the entertainment. Thanks to all you guys for being so active with your fan bases and awesome to interact with. Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Rick, thank you very much. He's a supporter of a bunch of our fan bases. Asante says in the chat, fun fact, don't look up what they meant with electric slide. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. Doesn't sound good though.
Yeah.
Rick, thank you for the super chat.
The music, the song Electric Boogie that is in Dance Central was in fact released in 1983 along with that music video. So I'm not insane, but I didn't know that it was a song a dance. I thought it was just a song. So
that does not deter you from being insane. That's a separate topic.
That's fair.
Yeah. Rick, thank you. And Hen House Bath Company.
Love it. With the $9.99 super chat, happy 300. I came to support Hogue, but stayed because I enjoy the banter. As a non-gamer, I've enjoyed learning about games my adult kids enjoy.
Cool.
Fantastic. That's what
we're like daycare.
Yeah.
No, that's the dream,
Like
right?
reverse.
Is that we can talk about things that even if you don't have an understanding of, you can still get enjoyment from. I mean, that's the goal. So
yeah,
thank you,
that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Your entire Hogue Law YouTube channel is built on that exact premise.
Well, yes, it is. Yeah. Right? That you can.
I was going to say, I don't think he's being sarcastic. I think that was a genuine statement.
I just sound sarcastic whenever I say anything. It's a real problem.
It's just everything. That's what my daughter says, by the way, Travis. She goes, "No, I'm being sincere. It's just everything I say sounds sarcastic."
Yeah, I feel the struggle of your daughter in more ways than one, really.
Thank you, Henhouse. Appreciate you. Super chat. Mr. Joseph Moran is here from the trophy room. How we doing, my friend?
Please don't please don't say that I'm the first guy here.
Yeah, you are.
I'm the last.
Oh man.
How's everybody doing?
We're good.
We're good, man. We're just hanging out. It's a very casual show, but you're here now, so you're probably going to ruin the vibe. You know how you do.
It's true. I don't even have any like nice little zinger there. It's just no.
You don't have anything back like, hey, it's true. I can't. Yeah, whatever.
My therapist says I kill the vibe all the time.
That would be such a funny comment from a therapist.
Yeah.
No, Joe, you're just really bumming me out. Is there any way you could let's keep it light? All right,
yeah,
Joe.
Come on, man. You know, you're being a real bummer. Like you have a PhD. I don't think you should be using words like bummer, but
or vibe.
Or vibe. Yeah. Well, that's what I get for they're free.
We take that one for Ains.
Yeah. Vibe's my word. Yeah. Also a registered therapist, by the way.
Are therapists really like? Are they required to have PhDs? Is that real?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm new to the game, but no, I'm doing all right, man.
All you need is 2 ears connected to a heart to be a therapist, so far as I can tell.
I don't know. I could never be
correct, but you might need more to be a good therapist.
Yeah. Because like, how do you not internalize someone else's?
I'm pretty good at about it. I'm.
Oh, really?
Catholic. Yeah, you could say the most messed up thing to me, it'll wash right off me. So
really?
If you ever need to get something out, let me know about it.
He's not going to help you with it, but he'll listen.
I'll listen.
All right.
For sure.
Yeah, I always thought that being that therapist, like they'd be like, man, I get to listen to this stuff all day. I feel so good about what I'm doing right now. This is just like all positive affirmations for me.
Yeah.
It really sucks to be that guy.
What if you went in with that attitude and then all of the people you heard from had it way more together than you? How would that make you feel? You're like, actually, I'm kind of.
I should be on the couch.
Then I'm applying it at McDonald's right after.
That kind of thing can happen. I actually tweeted out about it a couple of weeks ago, but I have since the stroke been somewhat concerned about my speaking cadence, and as I just talked about in this episode, jumping on other people's sentences. And then I watched the presidential debate, and said,
why would you do such a thing?
My speech is okay. People can understand what I'm saying. You can.
He's not kidding around.
You can actually feel better about yourself from comparisons to other folks. So I think there are
do that all the
probably
time.
therapists that are like that.
That's why I'm so chipper.
Yeah.
By the way,
I watched it, and that's why I'm not. You know.
We have a couple people in the chat that said who are therapists who both say they have master's degrees. Nissa specifically says you also do need a license, obviously,
right.
which that's
so. Is it like a pilot license where you have to have like 100 hours of listening to problems?
Every state is going to differ, right? Like just like a law license, a medical license is going to be controlled by jurisdiction, and then you're going to have.
Thanks for explaining my joke. Appreciate it.
It's
really good. Because I wasn't actually asking, but I appreciate the real answer. That's really good. You good way to read the room. I think it was great.
I'm just trying to be helpful about licensure in America.
Okay, yeah,
jumping in.
Totally.
You're like, you're probably, do you need a license for that? Hope's like, well, so you see, in every state, there's a set of laws.
Yeah. I'm all like, James Bond, license to kill. And he's like, well, actually, there isn't a license to kill so much. It's more of a...
You can only kill in 24 of the 50 contiguous states.
Yeah. I know which ones. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? I know which states you can kill in.
You just said that all of the trauma would wash right off your back. So, in my opinion, your sociopathy is what's going to explain what's in your basement when someone finally comes and checks it out.
That is, I worry about that all the time because I know I totally.
The people in your basement?
No, in like a different life, it's weird walking around with the knowledge that you could take a life and it wouldn't even ruin your day. You know what I mean? Like that's not a good feeling to have as you walk throughout the world.
I don't know where we're going on episode 300. Come on.
Come on down.
Joe, welcome.
Yeah, I made one therapy joke and now we're really going down that rabbit hole.
Who's got time? Anybody got some time to listen to these problems?
But anyway, Joe, thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate you. Obviously, we've done a lot of content through the last years now. Yeah, I didn't even look. I wonder when the first show we did together was. It has to be it's got to be 5+ years ago now.
4 or 5, yeah. It has to be.
Well, and Travis has been on Bitcast for 3, which doesn't even make sense.
That's wild.
So it's,
sense.
I didn't even know I was 3 years old yet.
Has Luke been on the show yet, or is he still trying to take another shot?
He joined early. Yeah, he was here from early.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he's playing Flintlock, and he'd need to get in before the sun was at its brightest.
That's fair. I've been playing a lot of Balatro like this whole morning. I just need to kind of get zen, and Balatro's been it, man. Like
that's a great advice, folks. If you don't want to watch our faces, play Balatro while you listen to us. Fantastic time.
You're much better off. Yeah,
I'm closing in on 100 hours of Balatro.
Wow,
it's a great game.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It is such a time sink, and it's when the game comes to iOS, I'm gonna get nothing done. I think that actually might put Elon out of business.
Yeah, it's going to be like those March Madness articles where they talk about hundreds of billions of dollars of lost productivity. It's just, Balatro banned on corporate iPhones.
100%. 100%. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. I wonder what I wonder how Local Thunk, right, is the developer of Balatro, and he kind of developed that by himself. I wonder what he's up to now, like given this resounding success he finds himself
in. He's a good Twitter follow. He talks about the design process and goes over his prototyping. And nice. one of the threads I really liked recently from him was talking about whether or not the poker skin, the aesthetic, was turning off folks that look at it without knowing what the game is and immediately think it's a gambling or poker kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's got some really insightful tweets. So follow him.
I would be on a beach somewhere, probably buying an island with how many that game's probably sold,
Yeah, he's probably doing really well. But yeah, it was kind of funny because I think Steve reviewed that for us. I had never heard of it at the time. It was before anyone really knew what it was. And he reviewed it. I think he gave it a 9, and he's like, this game Balatro is like amazing. And I'm like, what the hell is Balatro? And before anyone was talking about it. So we have like one of the earliest reviews up for it because it then the following weeks it kind of went nuts, obviously, and it's been a hit ever since. So yeah,
I remember we didn't have a review of it, and then suddenly somebody was like, "We need to review this game."
It just started blowing up. Yeah, like
now, did that article start blowing up as well? Maybe
I haven't even looked, honestly. That'd be an interesting thing to look at.
Yeah,
but
it introduced the game to me.
Yeah, Kyle talked about it on our show, and I was like, all right, maybe I'll see, because like we're playing so many other games at that time. I think I was like knee deep into Final Fantasy VII and Helldivers, so I was like, I'll get to it eventually. And then I picked it up a month ago, maybe, and I'm like, yeah, no, I am addicted, because like, I'm not a card guy. I'm not like a poker guy in the slightest. And Balatro does not make me interested in those things still. It's just like the game itself, its core mechanics it's astounding. Like the game is so good. So now I'm just trying to beat I'm trying to beat the game with every deck. And then the only other achievement I really need is beating it on the gold chip tier, which is like, I think, one of the hardest tiers to beat the game on. But like getting into the strategy of that game, like there was a video I was watching, not at work, that was like an hour and 30 minutes long of just this one guy going through the strategy of the purple like chip tier. And I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. So you could really get into the thick of it with that game. Go buy it. It's only $15.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and you really don't need any love of poker. It's one of the things I've talked about in the indie space and other games I've seen released this year is that Balatro really broke the dam for me in understanding that you could add kind of rogue and randomization procedural mechanics to anything, like any activity that humans engage in. And that like poker was just a useful rubric that most people could understand, right? Like a full house, a pair, two pairs. And that was just the baseline. And I think we're going to see more Balatros, not poker, but more Balatros spring out of its success because that design is really smart. And game designers are really good at cannibalizing smart designs.
Yeah. We were just talking about on Discord of like, there's another kind of card-based, not roguelite, but kind of in that vein, right? That was just announced like a week or so ago. And I was like, there's going to be so many now that people try to capitalize kind of on that theme. You know what I mean? Like making new games out of traditional cards.
Yeah. Well, and I saw one doing chess, right? Like chess moves and checkmates with the randomization of like a Joker feature. And I'm like, yeah, that'll work.
Interesting.
You have to design it. I mean, like you have to get in there and find the fun and do the math, but that can work.
Yeah.
Anything can be Balatroed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Silken, it says Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers. That's another one. That's one's more blackjack really? But there's other, it's got other themes. But anyway, but yeah, Joe, we're just having people swing by. Obviously, you're welcome to hang out. You're welcome to say your piece and go. We're at no we're at no kind of cadence here today. We're just hanging out with the community. So
turn off your feed. You don't have to leave the room.
Yeah, he like leaves the feed on but walks out of the room.
Just kick me. It's fine. I'll stay a few minutes. Yeah.
Are you just standing desk?
Yeah, I'm using the standing desk at the moment. I'm trying to live a healthier lifestyle. It's going okay so far.
Sometimes I wish I had a standing situation for the show.
Yeah.
It works like by hour 2, I'm like, I need to sit down. But like right now, because when we create content, we don't even think about how long we're just sitting here on these desks, in these chairs. And so, I think I got this about a year ago and started really using it on the pod a few months ago. And honestly, it feels so much better.
Anybody else stand while they game?
No, my one buddy Connor did back when I was a kid. We all thought he was really weird, and then he'd also have like this little like jumping fit as well if he was doing really good.
Oh, everybody has that. Everybody has that friend. Yeah,
and I'm like
the guy with the tongue.
Yeah, that guy.
The tongue flicks out of the mouth.
Yeah, I got 5 different comments I can't say on air about those kids, but yeah, annoying. It's like, just sit down, dude. You're shaking the ground,
The jumping is obnoxious, but I started standing behind my couch just because I game so much for like work that I was like, I feel like this can't be good on my back. So I just started like standing behind it. And now I'm kind of comfortable that way. I'm like, oh, this is like refreshing, you know? That way I don't feel like I'm a complete layabout.
Yeah.
You feel less degenerate standing and playing the video game?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's like now this is considered exercise.
Yeah. My heart thanks me.
You
exactly. And that's what I've been thinking about a lot lately.
You need to get one of those like Swedish what do you call it? I'm gonna forget the name, but they have like, you know, like really high-end chairs that are like orthopedic, built for your back, and you know, super comfortable. They're a couple $1,000s, but you know, as much as you game and sit there, Travis, for all the stuff you do,
you should tax deduct it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what I do for everything I
IGN.
buy.
Come on, they got money.
Yeah,
get them to buy it.
I mean, Ames, you got like teams of interns. You can buy Travis a chair. Travis, he doesn't pay you, right? He doesn't pay you either. Yeah, same. No. You could throw some chairs our way. Yeah,
I pay in more valuable things than money.
I'm a huge.
Like what?
Yeah. You don't want to know. Life essence.
Dude, the Ainsley Bowden sweatshop is real, dude. We're all in it here together in the trenches. It's good.
Yeah.
I got a episode 300 question for you. All right, it's a two-parter. You ready?
A two-parter. Wow. Okay.
Did you think you'd make it to 300? And where do you see another 300 in your future there, bud? You think your life essence will allow another 300 episodes?
With these guys, no, I'll be long dead.
I'm not comfortable talking about Ains's life essence on this episode.
That's fair.
I would like to exclusively discuss Ains's life essence.
I have no idea, honestly. We were saying earlier that when Bitcast started, it was bi-weekly, so we've been doing the show since 2017. It's obviously changed a lot now. You know, the clip I played of Dan on his first episode, we saw Bert, who I started the show with. Who knows, man? I mean, 300 is crazy. Another 300 episodes. If you think about another 7 years, like, am I gonna still be podcasting 7 years from now? I don't know.
That's what I was thinking the other day, because like the trophy room is like 2018 is when we really started. So it's like, yeah, we've been doing this for a minute now, and like, I can't imagine a future without it, but like I was just driving around the other day. I'm like, God forbid I get a wife and kids, you know? How does that change the dynamic? They're going to get in the way of my game time and my podcast time? I don't know.
I got some bad news.
Selfish for it.
Here's the key, and I think I found a life hack here, which is marry a nerd who also games all the time. You don't have to give up your lifestyle.
I did not think about
that.
Hey,
before you start broadcasting your life hacks, Travis, I think we need to make sure it's successful over a period of time.
Yeah.
Hey, we've been together for 4 years. Right now we're playing EDF 6. Come on.
4
years. In the back.
My engagement was longer than that, Travis.
Your engagement was longer than 4 years?
Yes.
Why were you engaged so long? Why can't you commit, Hogue? What's wrong with you?
Engagement is commitment, but I went to law school.
Well, that was stupid. Yeah. I like, Travis, you said life hack, marry a nerd, and we're like, Travis, you're not married yet anyway.
Yeah, but I'm marrying a nerd, so I don't have to.
Yeah, I know, but we'll see. You know, you got a few weeks. Things can happen.
When's your wedding, Travis?
August 6th.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
What?
She's still got time.
She still does. She can escape.
She's made it this long. It's actually been a surprise the whole time. So,
by the way, she wants to be on the show after our wedding as like a guest.
Of course.
So you guys can ask her questions like, "Why did you do that?" and "What's wrong with you?"
You can let her know. We'll trade you for her anytime. Just you know, you just got to say the word.
Yeah. She has a lot of opinions about this show.
I'm just gonna ask her. You know, Travis puts all of the dating simulator and visual novel and cozy gaming love on your shoulders. Is that really what you love, or is he just covering for himself and his love of these things?
That is a great question.
We know the answer, but I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so D was playing this dating sim where two guys fall in love, and super weird.
I just happened to see it when I walked in the room. You know?
Walked by.
Let's get some of these member comments caught up.
Joe Beer
Joe Beer.
Member for 18 months. Congrats on 300. Fantastic.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you. Remember, for 18 months on the Hogue side. Appreciate you. Gary, with $5 super chat. Congratulations on 300. And a big thank you and cheers to whomever gifted me the membership. that was probably what I don't even know what side of the house that was on. Probably Debbie W, I would assume.
Probably.
So,
Big thank you on using whomever correctly.
That is.
whomever. Yes.
There's nothing Travis and I appreciate more than good grammar. So you nailed it, Gary.
Kind of true. Kind of true.
Mo,
Yes.
good to see Mo.
Mo, the 18-month member. 300 big ones. Congrats, fellas, with many more to come. I hope Halo gets picked up for a third season. You're really going to be disappointed. Also, anything in Halo that won't get you in trouble. Yeah.
No. Mo, thank you for being a long supporter, always hanging out with us. No, the only thing I'll just repeat, because there were some rumors. What were the rumors going around last week of like 343? Well, that one's the silly one, but no, like 343 is not developing. They don't have active dev and all this stuff. But the only thing I'll remind people that we already talked about earlier this year is like don't hold your breath for a new Halo game anytime soon. I saw some shows say like new Halo in 2025. No. It's going to be a while, so pace yourselves.
Can I have a hot take
about the game?
The game, there won't be. Yeah, people were thinking like because they basically wound down support on Infinite. It still has seasons and stuff, but they're minor. You know, most core dev is on future Halo now. But people were like, "Oh, is the new Halo coming sooner than we think?" No, it's not. So
I didn't know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. Because every time I see these like rumors and reports, whether it's like Helldivers coming to Xbox, you know, the Halo show, whatever, like, please understand, most people with a podcast and a microphone, you know, take their sources with a grain of salt, you know? A lot of these folks, like, I know Ains, and I know he's not a bullshitter and doesn't want to, you know, doesn't care about the clicks, so to speak. But, like, a lot of folks just have agendas. It's the summertime, and you know, that's when most of us are out on vacation or checking out the show, as you should, because it's episode 300. So, like, a lot of people are doing what they can to bring audiences to their channel. So, yeah, when I saw, you know, the rumors of, like, 343 is just overseeing, it's like, just off the gate, that none of that makes sense. You know, that
it's team to oversee with.
Exactly. Like you would immediately start seeing sorts of layoffs and whatnot, and just like, I don't know, you would see a whole reconfiguring of how that thing works. So it's like, no, that's stupid and silly. You know, yeah, the Halo show and getting a new one. No, man. No. You know, not anytime soon. Like, I think it'll happen again in time, but I think they definitely understand they have to treat that source material with respect. And, you know, maybe the Master Chief doesn't take off his goddamn helmet in the first episode and we don't see his bare ass in the fourth. So, you know, just like the essentials. Maybe Cortana is actually a character, you know?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the show here.
Butt. Okay, good. Okay, I'm sorry.
We saw his butt.
I feel bad for the Halo fans. I feel bad for Ains. I feel bad that this went this direction because we are in a bit of a renaissance for video game adaptations, and to have one of the biggest intellectual properties in video games kind of die on the fire because the people making it wanted to explore their own themes or universe or whatever it is that they were doing while using the skin suit of the intellectual property. I feel bad for people that are fans of that intellectual property. So Halo, I think, will be back. There's enough there to be successful in the future, but probably not with this team, not with these creative heads. And it's a very difficult pitch to a new streaming service or a new channel or whatever you're thinking of it being pitched to with the level of success that it didn't have in this go around. So,
and it's amazing to see because it wasn't like the first season, like the most watched thing on, was it Peacock or whatever?
Paramount.
That's Paramount.
Yeah. And then second season, like that's how bad it had to have done.
I didn't make it to the end of the first season. I watch everything. I'm in the middle of my Acolyte run.
It's worth the stay because it was rough.
I couldn't do it. I bowed out. I talked to these guys about it. I bowed out with like the Master Chief walks around the.
Oh no, I mean Acolyte. Not Halo.
The mall.
Halo is definitely not worth it.
Oh no, I couldn't get to the end of the first season in Halo. Oh no, I'm actually I'm going to talk to Travis about it at some point, maybe in this show, maybe later.
Yeah.
I actually don't hate the Acolyte like the internet thinks that I should.
I don't hate it.
So
I don't think it's amazing or anything, but
no,
yeah,
it's not amazing.
The internet, as always, is being a little
It's always
hyperbolic over the top with how
Yeah.
bad it is. The writing, I think, is pretty bad though.
A lot of the writing is pretty bad, and a lot of the acting is pretty bad, and the production values are pretty bad. But it's
all right.
Those are true. Though. Those are true. Like all those things I just said are true. And yet it's like an all right, low production value adaptation of like a mid-range extended universe novel. I mean, it's like it's okay.
If it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, it would be the best show ever. But
absolutely,
it's on Disney
and to me, I think like the writing gets better. It gets like the themes that they're playing at get really good at the night. But then there are still some characters like the Green Lady. I'm just like,
the Green Lady is the
Vernestra
worst.
Rowe.
Thank you. She sucks.
Vernestra Rowe is a great character, but
she might be. But that actress is. I don't know what she's doing.
Well,
I think Headland knows what she's doing, but again, this is like one of those shows where it's like annoyingly written, where they're already thinking about the fourth season and they don't even know if they're gonna have a second season. So I fear for it in the long term. But yeah, I agree with Hogue. I don't think it's as bad as people. That's always my opinion on Star Wars, though. Anytime people freak out, I'm like, it's okay. It's
like I like it's not Andor, but it's not this tire fire that the internet wants you to think it is.
Book of Boba Fett was significally worse. Yeah, I think.
I was actually watching episode 6 of Acolyte yesterday and saying, I am enjoying this show significantly more than a lot of sequences in The Mandalorian. Like that's just boring to me. Like it really is like this kind of boring Star Wars generica. And Acolyte, for all the complaints, I talked about production values and acting and expository dialogue. For all those complaints, it's something new and different. And even if it isn't great at big swaths of it, it is interesting to watch in a way that a bad Mandalorian episode is not.
Yeah, and I would argue that, in my opinion, some of the best choreography. Those fights,
the fights are legitimately good.
Yeah,
they're really good. They blew me away.
Also, Manny Jacinto is a national treasure, and he should. Yeah, I hope he's in Star Wars for a long time.
So I love The Good Place. So I've enjoyed.
So you can't take him out of it
for a long time, but he's Jason Mendoza, and I can't take Darth Mendoza seriously.
Really? I've not seen him in anything, so to me it's just like, oh, this super hot Filipino guy, like, let's go.
Oh, Travis, you would like The Good Place. I think that's a great show.
The Good Place is fantastic.
It
if
is.
You take nothing else away from this conversation, don't just turn on the Acolyte. You can take or leave that. It's okay. It's not as bad as the internet thinks, but The Good Place is one of the best sitcoms ever made.
It's great.
It's so good.
I'm surprised you haven't watched that, Travis. Actually,
after episode 5 came out, I went and looked to see if Manny Jacinto's like workout routine was on the internet, and it is.
Oh, really?
So I'm trying to get jacked like Manny. Like, you guys are never gonna notice because I wear suits every day, but I want it to be like something happens, Shirt
just
comes
come in
off
with one of those smiley darts.
Shredded. He's shredded. Like that's.
He's gonna come in, save the day, and the guy with the guns is gonna turn. That's one shredded child.
Who's that guy from Tales from the Borderlands? The best friend who takes off his shirt and he's like ripped. You guys remember that?
I do remember that. I don't know why.
What's that character's name? I can't remember anyway.
No, but seriously, like he's on The Good Place, and one of his primary jokes is that he's hot. Like that's one
but
of
he's
the things.
really dumb.
He's the dumbest.
Yeah, that's like the joke.
A Florida man in Good Place.
Yeah.
Jacksonville. Yeah.
I think you guys are hitting on the fact that the bar is so low for Disney plus Star Wars that I understand what you're saying here.
Yeah, I know it is.
I have a hot take that.
But we're not saying that it's better because the bar's low. We're just saying it's not disaster.
I think
people are saying it's disaster.
Subliminally.
I'm gonna say both. I've actually been trying to check myself there, which is like I'll go and watch a legitimately good show like House of the Dragon.
Right.
And it's clearly not up to that par. It's not remotely close to it, but it's not actively offensive to me like the internet wants me to believe.
Yeah. Sure. And most of Star Wars is not like that either. So
Yeah,
like for me, it's like we're not getting House of the Dragon out
In the
of
world of the internet,
Empire.
if it's not the best thing you've ever seen, it is like dumpster fire, worst thing ever. And I just don't see the world that way. So when people say these hyperbolic things, I'm just like, it's probably not true. Because I've watched the dumpster fire shows and played the games, and I can tell you that those games do exist. But they're
because
much worse.
I love Ahsoka, and I can't stand, The Last Jedi, and I will refuse to watch Episode 2. Like there's Star Wars that I love, and there's Star Wars that I hate, but like I still love that universe a lot. And I think we're getting to this like peak in the internet right now where you guys are right. It's like it's either the worst or the best. It's either the world's about to blow up or whatever, and everybody's just miserable when it should be like maybe we should be kind of celebrating some wins here or there as well.
I'm glad the Acolyte exists.
Yeah,
you can clip that if you want, but I'm glad the Acolyte exists. It's not the best thing ever, but it also will not make you feel bad about being on this planet Earth when it's done, like some of the internet channels will have you believe.
Star Wars theory sucks. You can clip me on it.
I not being a big Star Wars guy, I listen to you guys who love it talk about it sometimes, and it sounds exhausting. It just sounds.
Our fandom sucks.
The fandom is exhausting. The content is great.
Okay, it's definitely not great. The content is not actively offensive, is what I'm willing to commit to on this show.
You're talking about the Acolyte. I'm talking about like the vast majority of content that comes out for Star Wars is really good. Like the High Republic content is great. The novels are great.
See what I mean?
The comics are great.
Okay, but no, the vast majority of Star Wars content is not really good. It's just
I just think you haven't seen a lot of the Star Wars content in years, but the vast majority of stuff they put out, like all the comics, that's most of Star Wars is like novels. It's like,
I also love how Dan just ducks out of the podcast whenever,
Yeah, he does.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
and then he talks on mute. He does that too.
I had to get something out of my tooth there. I had a beef stick earlier.
Okay.
Ames does have a little thing on our instructions for the show that says, less eating sounds. So Dan's just trying to abide by the rules.
I also have to stretch and get my back all.
No, stretching is good. I actually, every time you do that, Dan, I think I should stretch more during these because, like we were just talking about with your standing desk, I do feel like my spine decompress sometimes after an episode.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Listen, it's time for me to go. I love you all very much. Very glad I could derail the show for 10 minutes extra.
That's
to
the
talk
way
about Star Wars.
I did not need you to bring up Star Wars with these two.
And we never even got to finish talking about the Halo.
It's awful.
We did.
That's the thing where we can all objectively go, oh boy.
Yeah, that one is legitimately
with
bad.
Travis.
Yeah. That's legitimately bad.
But hey, congrats on episode 300. Here's the 300 more. And now I'm going to go swim in a pool and go for a walk.
Hey,
it's going to be
nice.
All
right, Joe. Thanks for coming by as always, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, bro.
All right. And yeah, Mo, your comment about Halo led to all that Star Wars talk. See what happens? It's
good
just a
job.
domino effect. Yeah. So Big Bad Mo, thank you. We'll catch up on these other comments.
Katendra. I like that. All right. I've been here since episode 200 when Hogue announced it during was it Dev versus Herd?
That is.
Assuming a gaming channel with intelligent people.
Or at least
yes, please. I have been here ever since. Yeah. I mean,
What channel is that actually?
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know.
You want to watch that?
Yeah, I'd check that out. That sounds good. Katendra, thank you very much for the member comment. Appreciate you. Katie, our Diablo fanatic. Well, fanatic, strong word, but
Katie Cotton, 22 months of membership. Congratulations on 300 episodes. You're all a great people. Thanks for getting me back into gaming. PS moving sucks. That is true.
100%.
I gotta admit,
one of the reasons
I
don't own a
scanned over
truck.
that and I just saw PS and sucks, and I thought you were getting really console worry for a second, Katie. But moving does suck, and Diablo is great. So
Diablo is great.
I can't
She
tell you
could
the number.
mean. Sorry, Hogue. Sorry, go.
Oh, not at all. I was going to say I can't tell you the number of texts that I have to my wife over the last couple of years since I've been doing all this rehab and everything else that says something like Diablo IV is always the answer. Like if I'm feeling stressed or overworked or worried, that's the game that kind of I say, I don't even know if I feel like it. I don't feel like beating up demons right now. And after like 10 minutes of sorting through inventory and going into a Helltide or whatever, it's like, yeah, this is exactly what I needed. So yeah, Diablo 4, folks, it's great.
Speaking of which, I could talk about my time playing with the new subclass.
You played it as a Spiritborn?
I have played as a Spiritborn, yeah.
Hold on one second before we get there. Let me finish this and then we can transition to that.
All right, but don't forget it. I want to hear about this.
No. We just got a couple more things to get to. I was going to say maybe she meant, PlayStation moving sucks, like moving a PS5 just because it's gargantuan. That sucks.
Also, because it yells at you every time you do that. As somebody who moves a PlayStation regularly, they are drama queens, dude. They're like rebuilding database.
No. I don't even move mine, and I get that 80% of the time I turn on my PS5.
If it loses power, it's like
they are so dramatic over at PlayStation. Calm down, boy.
No, I put mine in rest mode, turn it back on, and I get that almost every time. Yeah, it's very frustrating. Katie, thank you. Console Peasant gifting 5 season gaming memberships. Console Peasant always hanging out with us. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Console. And Mr. Mariano Pampa. I can't do it properly, Pomps.
Yeah.
$5 super chat.
Pampa.
Mariano.
Anthem 2.0 for old times. Always a nice shout out.
I was actually I've got family birthdays this weekend as well, and my stepson, who's the big Destiny player, he's playing the hell out of First Descendant right now. And we were talking about your review, Travis, and we were talking about First Descendant, and we started talking about Anthem again, and I was like, oh, I still want Anthem 2.0. So, which Anthem, by the way, 2.0, I certainly would play more than First Descendant. So, personally.
Yeah, that one didn't work for me. I also tweeted about this. First Descendant, I really like as a kind of proof of concept for what you can do with a free-to-play model and how much you can give people. But as a game, basically, every minute I played it, I was like, I'd rather be playing Warframe.
Well, apparently I didn't like it because they show women with voluptuous bodies, and that's
not allowed.
Main reason I didn't like it.
You're marrying a woman. I believe.
Yeah. I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out on my wedding night.
I mean, strictly speaking, I don't know this for
Surprise!
Sure.
Surprise! We actually just put together the flow of the day. We have like a piece of paper that shows like first we're doing this activity on this day and that day or that hour. And D made the mistake of leaving me in charge of that. So I put like, 1, the ceremony, stuff like that. And then the party ends at 10, and then I had 1 left over. So I did 12, consummation, and like had to make iconography for all of it. She was like, why would you put that on there? What's wrong with you?
like the little Olympic stick figures as iconography?
Yeah, like I did like boots up in the air. Knocking boots. Yeah, that was the symbol. I had like a toolkit, a bunch of symbols. So yeah.
Toolkit. Pops, thank you for the super chat. Dan almost lost it. Talk to us about the Spiritborn. Let's go for it. It's big news this week. We can talk about it.
Yes.
Let's hear about it. Say I spent a couple days down in Irvine on the Activision headquarters campus to play Diablo IV Vessel of Hatred. I got to hang out in the new area, which is from Act 3 of Diablo 2, the Nahantu place, if you guys remember that forest area or jungle. And the new character class, the Spiritborn, are natives to that place, and they are all about you summoning like a spirit guardian. You choose one of 4 guardians to defend your character, and basically whichever one you choose has a very large impact on how the character plays. So it's essentially like 4 character classes in one, because you could play with 4 different copies of the same character class as we did during the demo and have completely different builds and experiences and play styles. And so the 4...
I want like a Jaguar.
Jaguar is one of them.
Yeah, there is one.
Jaguar is one of them. Yeah, so they are like based off of like South American kind of like ancient civilization stuff. So there's the Jaguar.
Looks like.
Yeah, exactly. There's a Jaguar. There's a gorilla. There's a eagle and a centipede. And the centipede's an
the
outlier.
Centipede's like based around poison, I think, right?
Yeah,
like
once you understand
centipede,
it's because it's different types of it's basically like different elements of the jungle. And so the way they explain the centipede is it's all about when things get to the bottom of the jungle floor and they die and then they feed new life. And so as the centipede, you are poison and life steal, right? And so it's all about like, decay feeding you and that sort of thing. And then the eagles are the top of so they kind of designed it to be like different parts of the jungle, which is pretty cool. But yeah, basically if you play as the Jaguar, it's a 100% like aggression and like moving around really quickly and attacking things, but also being like really squishy. So it's kind of a glass cannon type of thing, kind of like the Rogue is what it reminded me of. The gorilla is more like Barb. It's like tanky, a lot of defense and getting shielding and healing yourself or preventing damage or whatever. And then thorns, there's like a whole build you can do around like making your thorns insane. So anytime anything touches you, you take no damage and they take a ton of damage.
That's
the
living
eagle,
life right.
Yeah. The eagle is all about mobility and dodging and stuff. You do a bunch of different attacks and effects when you dodge and get out of the way. And you can teleport, and it's all electric based damage stuff. So a little bit of crowd control too. And then the final one, Centipede, kind of already explained. But the cool thing is you choose your patron guardian, and that gives you like a base ability. And it also means that every perk you select on your skill tree also counts as that type of skill. So if you choose Centipede, every skill also counts as a Centipede skill, which has a pretty big impact because you can mix and match. And so the way I think of it is this is the most modular class they've ever made because you basically can choose a primary that you're going to build into, like which one is your guardian that you summon and all that stuff. And then you can choose like a minor as well. So you want to be like, oh, I'm Centipede, but I've got like a Jaguar as my minor or a gorilla. And then it gives you like elements or aspects of that secondary guardian that you chose. So it's pretty cool.
Not to interrupt you, but just to emphasize the point you're making, they put this chart out because they were kind of showing how like where you want to align with the Spiritborn.
Correct.
So they put this up, which is like, there's certain aspects that they kind of focus around. And to your point, I think you can major and minor, right, and tie those together.
Yeah, and so cool. the reason Centipede and Jaguar are like a good combo is because you hit so much, and because Centipedes do lifesteal, it also is good at keeping you alive since you tend to be a little squishy when you're playing that. And then
I've switched. I'm a Gorillapede, folks.
Yeah, Gorillapede is a pretty good one. I also did I think I did mostly the Jaguar one, but I went in thinking Centipede seems cool, and I left thinking Centipede's the best one. Although honestly, the gorilla is really understated. They also all have a power where you actually summon the guardian to the battlefield, and so the gorilla does like a giant area clear where it just like stomps on the ground, and it's very cool. It just throws a tantrum. The Centipede flies up out of the ground and starts like just spewing poison everywhere and does a bunch of damage, and they're all really cool. They have really cool effects.
Graphically with the name like Spiritborn, I'm imagining like ghost versions of these things.
They're ghostly. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Yeah, they're ghostly. And I did a preview for this, so you can watch it up on IGN. I've got a video of footage of me playing and looking at the skill trees and stuff. And something they do that's really cool is, unlike all the other skill trees in Diablo, this class has color coding based on which guardian it plays into. And so it becomes very clear right away when you're choosing your basic attack that like if you're going to be a Centipede, you should probably choose the base Centipede attack, or maybe choose a different one, because if you're making the Centipede your main spirit guardian, all of the skills also count as Centipede skills, and so you can kind of play into them. But I did one build where I just chose one guardian and I took every skill that applied to that guardian, and honestly it didn't feel as good, because if you're going to go like 100% gorilla, you might as well just play a barbarian, right? Because they're way better at going like deep into that play style. And so to me, this class is really about like being more modular and kind of doing multiple things like better than you would expect, as opposed to just like, you know, I don't think a Jaguar is ever going to do more damage than like a rogue at its peak. And so it's kind of just about like hedging your bets and doing like multiple things a little bit better. So
let's do it. That's
yeah,
really
it's very cool. I had a lot of fun with it. I switched and played with each of the Guardians just to see how they worked, and had a lot of fun with like the build crafting. And then once you get into the equipment, there's equipment to help with each of them, or to like break the rules where it's like, all right, well, you know, now you can choose this skill even though you're part of the different Guardian tree and all that other stuff. So they have some really neat stuff in there.
This is my only live service game that's succeeding, folks.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Get excited.
Yeah, season 5 starts August 6th, so 2 weeks, basically right when you're getting married there, Travis.
Yeah.
Season 5 starts, and then this comes out in October, so it's not far off. Dan, you were going to ask a question, I think?
Yeah, so basically this is like a class that you can basically create the other classes for. Like you know what I mean? Like you can, it's kind of like Swiss Army knife.
It's versatile. You can kind of mix and match.
But yeah, the way I like, this is the first like mainline Diablo character class where they have, and I'm saying mainline because I don't want to include like immortal or whatever, but it's the first one where they haven't like had to base their entire philosophy off of like a D&D character class, right? And they do that for a lot of these, and so you already kind of know what the fantasy is. And so this one is about like kind of discovering your own fantasy, and you can create like versions of the existing classes, but I actually think the class feels worse if you try to do that, if you try to like focus on just one thing. And so this is sort of about like doing other stuff that maybe is a little weirder or a little more niche that you wouldn't be able to do with the other classes. And it surprisingly doesn't feel like a jack of all trades, master of none. It kind of just feels like it does different things that the other classes currently don't really address, because you can build into thorns with the other ones, but this one has like a thorn build that's like very much about thorns, and like all of the equipment that you can get are like thorn based. And so they had like presets where you could like, all right, I want to try the gorilla. Here's a gorilla with gorilla armor that makes me look like a gorilla. And also all of the equipment is like based around being a good gorilla. And like every single piece of armor had like a power about thorns or staying alive. And so it's pretty cool, man. I think this might be my main character class, because I kind of get bored of playing into one fantasy, and I like that I'll be able to go with one character. And if I get bored, rather than switching characters, I can just rebuild, you know, I can just roll and be like, all right, now I'm going to be like super aggro, and I'm going to get off the gorilla and just play as a jaguar or centipede.
Yeah, I mean, that flexibility, because they don't charge really for respecs, is going to be very useful.
Yeah.
So
And it'll be great at like keeping the game. Also, there was one point where I got into an encounter that I was having trouble with, and so I just rebuilt my character and then replayed it with my new build and was able to beat it. And so I like that you can just change on the fly, like, oh, I just want my character to be a completely different type of class specifically to overcome this obstacle, and then you can switch back afterward or whatever. It's very cool.
I'm looking forward to it. That sounds awesome.
Could you co-op, let's say like a 4-player party with all of this class?
You sure can.
But be enough to where it's, you've got your tank, you've got your.
Yeah, so we did that. I did it with
versatile, I guess.
Shout out to Imran Khan, Greg Miller. They were the people on my squad, so we were running through the Diablo together. So very, very cool. But yeah, we each specifically coordinated to play different classes, and then it just felt like, typical Diablo group, except for we were all summoning ghost animals. Very cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. If you haven't watched the preview or the developer live stream they did of it, it's really good. And they've put a ton of info out on their site too.
I loved all their classes already, so I have no doubts about this one. The only one I haven't really connected with yet is I haven't found a good sorcerer.
Yeah.
For me, personally, right? Like, not in general. I'm sure there's somebody out there with a sweet sorcerer build. It just doesn't feel good to me. So outside of that, I've liked everything in Diablo 4. So yeah, hit me with some Spiritborn.
Yeah, to me, it looks like the more I watched and read up on it, it's like it almost feels like an extension of what they did with the druid, right? Because the druid, you can be the bear, you can be the werewolf, you can kind of flex around a little bit with different nature stuff. But Spiritborn seems like much more grand than that, which is exciting. So, yeah, it looks cool, man. Super excited for it. All right, got Bacon here. Let me get these couple super chats real quick. Shoosh,
episode 300 question: favorite Travis versus Hogue moment?
Jeez, man, it's a tough one.
I have no idea off the top of my head. There's been some funny ones, that's for sure.
I still like the reaction that Travis gave, and you really too, Haynes, when he brought up the Resident Evil 6.
Take. one of my lock
Travis
screen
was like,
photos.
That was fantastic. So
one of my lock screen photos is Ains losing his mind at Hogue's Resident Evil 6 thing.
I'm sorry, Village is not very good.
Yeah.
my lock screen changes every hour, and every once in a while I see that one and I'm like, oh, it's Ains o'clock. That's what it is.
That's funny. That's quite funny.
I think for me, it would probably be me accidentally hitting world premiere when Travis was promising swearing.
Oh, that was very
hilarious.
Good.
That clip is classic. Yeah, one of my favorites. Shoosh, thank you for always being a big supporter. And Mr. Eric, Game Positive with $13.99 Canadian. Sorry I couldn't catch this whole show live. Family's sick, but shout out to Ains and crew for 300 episodes. Incredible achievement that couldn't have happened to a better group. Much love from Canada. Nova Scotia. One of the few people I game with who is in front of U.S. time zones. He's an hour ahead of East Coast, so it always screws us up playing. But he was in the group playing with Travis and I on Concord last week.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, he's big competitive shooter guy. He plays them all, so that was good. But Eric, thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat, man. All right, we got a couple other guests popping in from the Nerd Chat. Mr. Jose, Mr. Bacon, how we doing, boys?
Good, bud. How you doing?
Yeah, hanging out, just vibing with the audience here and all the guests swinging by. But good to have you guys jump in.
Love it. Sounds
How's
like
your
a
Sunday
Hogue
treating
right
you?
there. It's going great, man. Doing some family work. We got family coming in town today, so just gonna do that and then play some Flintlock hopefully a little bit later. And we've also been playing Destiny 2, which I know Travis will appreciate. We jumped into Lightfall. I have not touched Destiny in I think 7 years, and we of course jumped straight into Legendary because Bacon is a masochist, and it's been a little.
I appreciate you, Bacon. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah, but it's been real fun.
You're playing Lightfall first?
No, started Destiny 2, and I can't remember. We got just before the Witch Queen. We didn't get to the Witch Queen; it wasn't released yet at the time, and then just walked away to other games. And our buddy Dan, who's going to be on here in a little bit, he was like, "We got to jump back into it, man!" And so he very graciously bought it for me on Xbox, and we've been playing it again, man. It's been we jumped into Lightfall because he's played the other ones. That's the one he hasn't played, and then of course Final Shape. So that's kind of our summer to-do list, if you will. So it's been fun. It's been kicking my butt a little bit though.
Nice.
The good news is Final Shape will feel even better after Lightfall.
Yeah,
that's what I hear.
Sure will.
Yeah.
There's a saying out there that says never meet your heroes, and here I am, gentlemen. I've been a long time watcher and supporter. Actually, I usually listen to you guys while I'm mowing my lawn because that's the day I have to mow my lawn. So it is super nice to get this invite. So appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, of course, man. I love the Terminator 1 poster, by the way.
Classic. Oh, you're one of the only ones that catches that.
Oh, yeah, man. That was a legendary movie. I used to watch that when I was, 5-6 years old, formative years, as always. Yeah. Just great. Yeah.
There you go.
There's my governor. There he is.
The governor. Yeah, man.
He should run for president.
Gavin Newsom wishes he looked like
that. I know.
Yeah, he can't. That's true. He can't. Right?
Yeah, it would be good. I mean, you'd probably do a good job.
He probably would have, honestly. But yeah, so real quick, we're getting a request for your clip, Hogue, from your first show. We'll play that while these guys are here, but it's a little anticlimactic, Hogue. You were you were very flat. In your first clip here with the show, you just were like, "Yep, glad to be here."
Well,
like Hogue.
That's just who I am.
Yeah. You also had the old school red wall background. So this is episode, what was it here? It was episode 189, which was February 6th, 2022. So yeah, 2.5 years ago, which is, again, crazy to even say out loud, but only 6 months after Travis joined us. So here is first introduction of Hogue to the panel. And joining us this week, he is back after a couple weeks, and very happy to announce that he is going to be joining us at least for a short term every week going forward. Is our friend, host of Virtual Legality. You know him, Mr. Rick Hogue. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to be here, and thank you for the invite and the card. I get my name in the corner here. This is fantastic. This is high production value.
Yeah. So this is a temporary setup for this week, but now that we have a proper 4-person panel, which is what we've kind of been working towards for a little while now, wanted to say a huge welcome to you, Rick, and thanks for joining us. I think that I don't know why I cut it that way. I think I miscut that, but that's okay. It doesn't matter.
We get the point.
Yes, yeah. It's before I had lights on in here.
I know. You looked all red and I looked all blue. What was up with that?
Wait till you see my clip. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I'm very excited. You've been building this up a lot. If it's not literally the worst, I'm going to be pretty disappointed.
Well, I'm glad I've been here for the short term.
The short term. Well, no, because that was when we were talking about a temporary you joining us. So it's worked out.
That's what we had discussed. Was I didn't know whether I could do this, especially when I was doing 7 episodes a week on my channel, and you were nice enough to say, yeah, let's do it on probation, and that's why it was announced that way.
You definitely saved me from having to read all those court documents for the acquisition. So you came in clutch there, sir.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to read them for work.
Happy to do it.
Brutal.
Which it all tried to kill Hogue in the end, but he's here. He's with us.
My brain rebelled, but you know what? We put it into place.
Oh no, this guy's here.
Oh, here we go.
Did you guys invite him? I didn't invite him. How did he get here?
I think it was a group invite.
What's he doing?
He's probably working on audio. It's like the
he looks
start
confused.
Of
Did he
comms.
I'm so sorry. The audio every time. PC gaming. Am I right, guys?
I'm telling you.
Actually, no. Oh man.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, Ains, Mr. Dan Rodriguez, Hogue, Law, the legend, and Tie Guy Travis? I can't believe it. Like Bacon, I heard him say, meeting your legends. I can't believe, or your heroes. I can't believe this moment is here.
You're on the wrong show.
Well, I didn't.
They're big time.
Let me finish my story. So, when I started to listen to you guys in Season Gaming, it was probably around just right after Hogue and Travis had joined, and I remember I was introduced to Hogue back with Colin over at Last Stand, like many years ago. Hogue, you had been on, and same with you, Ains. I think actually I might have found you through your appearance. It was either with the Dukes or with Colin, and I was like, these guys are good dudes and incredibly smart, and they bring so much to the table. And that's what I really appreciate about your show, is how, as Hogue likes to say, it's so reasonable and fair and respectful, and you all bring such different opinions. Yes, reasonable minds, of course, can differ. And I just want to say that you guys are an inspiration to our show, our little nerd chat show, a group of friends joining together to talk and celebrate video games for the most part. And my favorite Season Gaming episode, hands down, was when Hogue came back and he surprised everyone.
Oh yeah,
I was there, and I will never forget that. And Hogue, you are everyone's internet gaming lawyer. That you are, like I said, I've heard you from Colin for years ago, and I loved when you came back, and just the growth that you've had since that first episode has been crazy to watch. And we're just all thankful that you're here. I'm also thankful that Travis puts you in your place when it comes to your hot takes, because my gosh,
skull and bone.
There are some crazy takes, you guys. I am shocked at some of the things that Hogue can say when I think he's one of the smartest men on the internet, and then he says Resident Evil 6 is a good game, and I just heard you guys talking about that.
All I said was that it's better than Resident Evil Village.
Again,
still not true. That doesn't help. That doesn't help.
What's going on? And then Dan, I love Dan's rants on his Twitter. He has the best. He's the man's man over in Kansas City with you over there.
And his taste in food. Your food, sir.
Exactly. He's got food takes. He's got Home Depot angry rant takes.
I love Dan's tweets, but I always read them in like the voice of Ed O'Neill.
Exactly. And then Dan,
that's probably pretty accurate.
Spending hundreds of hours in the same games. One of them being Horizon Zero Dawn, which is insane to me. I can't believe
Forbidden West. He has like 350 hours or something. Like,
my God. Which is, I can understand Hitman, but Horizon. And then Travis, I appreciate your incredible reviews. You're very fair and balanced. And as I read them, I'm like, he's one of the good ones over at IGN. Am I right? So, and I just heard you guys saying what was one of your favorite Travis versus Hogue moments. I gotta say, obviously the Resident Evil controversy, but also what is good comedy. I believe Travis telling Hogue what is funny and what is not funny. He's just not. Well, he doesn't know humor, and I think it was on High on Life. Maybe is what the game you're referring to.
One of those games. Yeah,
I don't find High on Life funny. That's true.
It was great comedy.
So, guys, thank you for having us. Thank you for having me. I cannot wait to continue to listen to you guys every week. And like Bacon said, you guys are an inspiration, and we just love listening to you guys, and we'll be here for many, many more years, I hope.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was nice. Some of those memories, but yeah, Hogue, I think that's an all-time Bitcast moment is when you surprised us, because I've said many times reflecting on that moment is I'm the only one who could see that you were actually here before Travis and Dan knew, and just kind of the chat on both sides of the house blowing up as soon as you came back. That was an awesome moment for sure.
I really like that too. Although when I go back to watch it, I cannot stand how slowly I'm speaking.
I mean, you got to give yourself a little slack. I think you had a minor event.
You were speaking at all.
Yeah,
not a gift.
I speak slowly, but I believe that's my education. So
I like how education is correlated to how quickly you talk. You get smarter, you just start talking faster.
It's a prerequisite, yes.
I mean, both Dan and I work in the school system, so I can assure you that is correct, Travis. I remember a lot of people that talk very fast.
Damn, I'm gonna start talking as quickly as possible just to pump up my numbers. Make people think I'm all smart.
Damn, that guy's smart.
Damn, you hear this guy shooting off like 800 WPM? That's crazy. Those are crazy numbers, dude.
But no, guys, thank you so much. If you, I don't think we've shouted you out on. I know we have on Cast. Maybe we have on Bitcast. I don't remember. But anyway, these guys do Nerd Chat every Thursday night. You can check them out. It's a fun show. They also have their variation of a food cast during the show. They get into a lot of debates about food as well. So if you enjoy just hanging out, talking games, having some side chat about food, check them out. They would appreciate you stopping by, I'm sure.
Ains, one more thing before we go. I forgot to shout you out. You came on to our show. I don't know if these guys did
early on.
And that was an incredible gesture of you to come on our little show. We were talking about, of course, Halo. What else did we talk about? Halo Infinite. The state. I mean, we could still talk about that right now, Ains. I have many questions for you. Rest in peace, the show. But Ains, I have to shout out. He talks a lot of game on about his Halo competence, and I gotta say, I don't know if you guys have played with him. Ains is a real deal. He's pretty dang good. I have to say, I was like, I'm pretty good at Halo. I'm the best out of my friend group.
That's absolutely correct.
That's who.
Ains humbled me immediately. Ains always in first or second place. And
not anymore.
He is a freak, you guys. Don't let him fool you. Ains, so right now,
he's a freak.
He
yells too much, man.
Oh, that is true.
He's too damn bossy.
Don't get Wally started. Don't get Wally started.
Play the objective, Wally.
He starts yelling, and then he plays it with no headphones or whatever, and then you can hear everything
just storming around.
Those are old days. Those are old days, Dan.
I suck.
Dan, he'll just go on.
You
know he's really mad when he's not saying anything to you. You're like, oh no, what did I do? I know how
intense.
Jose and Bacon feel when they play with me.
Yes, you yell a lot.
But I have to say, I got to put Ains in his spot too, though. Pomps, Everyone knows Mariano Pampa.
He's very good. Yes.
Pops, dare I say, is better than Ains. And
I think nowadays he is. I've told him that.
I think he is better.
I've told him that.
Before we go, gentlemen, we do have a segment all about food as we close the show. Can everyone tell me the best food you had this week?
Also, I can start because I went to a very nice restaurant last night for the first time in Kansas City. It was 2 of our sons' birthdays this weekend, one Friday, one yesterday. And so the whole family went out last night. We went to Capitol Grill, Dan, and Plaza.
Are you poor now?
It was expensive. Yes, it was expensive. But anyway, had a beautiful filet. We had beef tartare. We had a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, it was excellent. The service was fantastic. We were there for like 3 hours drinking. The drinks were amazing. So it was excellent. But they did a Kona crusted filet, obviously, medium rare with I forget the name of the sauce. Everything's made in house. They cut their steaks daily from local farms. It was beautiful.
It's really good.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
So nice. Dan, what about you?
Shit.
You can just make something up. It works.
Tell them about beefaroo, Dan. What's beefaroo?
We've already talked about beefaroo. I will go to shout out Hostess, the Hostess factory, wherever it is around here. They are now making raspberry ding dongs. All right, so they're taking the ding dong shape and made it into a raspberry zinger.
I like that
into a ding dong shape. So it's basically fantastic. It's a brand new product. It's amazing. I bought like 4 boxes of it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said when I first tried it. It's amazing. I love raspberry zingers though, but they kind of gone away and they kind of disappeared. Now they brought them back in the form of a ding dong, which is, if you don't know, is just a circle.
Dan, we know what a ding dong is? Come on. Yeah. Hostess are like our favorite treats. We talk about it almost every week.
Yeah.
Little Debbie too, though.
Like actual food. I don't know if I like last night we went to this place. Do you know where Hook and Reel is, Zanes?
Yeah.
I've never had it before. Yeah. It's like
I went there. I took my mom there when she was here.
It's not bad. It wasn't bad. Yeah. There's a lot of food there. It's like a crab boil place where you just pick like a bunch.
They boil it in the bag in the restaurant and bring out whatever seafood and seasonings you want. So you can order crabs, scallops, clams, and they boil it.
They wear gloves and bibs and stuff. We did that last night, so that was pretty good.
It's good,
but not as good as the ding dongs. So
Dan, he's incredible.
It doesn't speak well of your seafood situation.
I can't believe there's a Hostess factory out there. We're gonna have to make it out to Kansas. I hate Kansas City.
I think they're called Zinger Dingers. Man, that's a great name too.
You say you hate the Chiefs, you better not come here.
Well, I'm thankful that both of you are not Chiefs fans, even though you live in the Kansas City. So.
Yeah, I support them.
And congratulations to Hogue on the Michigan's Wolverines national champions.
Go Blue!
Don't get them started.
What's your best food this week, Hogue?
Well, so I was actually on vacation this past week, so I actually have a good one. There is a restaurant that my wife and I love called Jico at the Animal Kingdom Lodge in Walt Disney World that does African spices and tastes with more Disney-fied fare, right? And so they had a flatbread that was my favorite thing that was duck confit with African spices. And because we're talking about Disney, that scene in Ratatouille where that rat eats like the cheese and the apple at the same time and it just has different flavors going off in his head is what it felt like to eat this flatbread. And I loved it. It was fantastic. That's not the usual thing that I would talk about. I know Travis would say he was expecting a chili dog or something. But this particular restaurant is a place that is celebratory for me and my wife. And we finally got to take our kids there because they were old enough to not mess up the place. And it was great.
Nice. Awesome. Very cool. Travis, bring us home.
Yes. I guess I have the opposite situation of Hogue, which is because I'm getting married in 2 weeks. I've been trying to not eat a ton, not go to restaurants and stuff. But Dee and I, we went to a local diner in my neighborhood in San Francisco called Arts Cafe. It's like a hole in the wall breakfast place. And
dude, those are the best places. What are you talking about?
Yes,
good
I know. I'm saying we're trying to not to do it, but every once in a while we got to go somewhere. And there's like this Korean family that moved to America and opened up a American style diner, but they also serve like Korean food as well. And it literally is. It's only big enough for a bar that can fit like 6 people, and then on the other side of the bar, them cooking food. It's like the smallest venue you've ever seen, and it always has a line out the door, and it's really, really damn good. So, that was probably the side I had.
Awesome.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you, guys.
He's
got this singer.
Look at that thing.
What is
World
that?
premiere
It's like a
right
red
there.
hockey puck.
We need a
It's
live review.
Raspberry zinger in the
see
form of a
Is that sugar
ding dong.
all over it?
It seems like coconut.
Coconut.
That's
Yeah,
love.
coconut, Ains. Come on.
Coconut.
This is amateur hour? Oh, my.
Oh, looks like a peak of food right here.
4 boxes, son. That's what I got.
Will you just take a bite for us? Just tell us,
Yeah,
No.
For listeners at home,
What are we doing?
Dan is just taking out one of those things that looks like the cheeses with the little shells. And then opened it up and
the baby bell.
Baby bells. Baby bells.
I'm living vicariously through this.
Oh, man.
Google
might be a
Google
limited
says
time
they
deal,
just
guys.
banned that color in California.
That might be true.
Oh shit,
Guys,
That's
thank
good.
you so much, guys, for having us. Congratulations on 300. That is so awesome. Again, thank you guys. Congratulations.
Yeah, you guys
Thank
are always
you guys for
welcome.
coming by.
If you ever
Yeah.
want to stop by, and before I leave, Travis, I have to say, I listened to you guys on the way to work. I literally had to pull over on my street on the day you were talking about the fighting crabs because I was laughing.
Oh my god,
so hard. That was my
Classic.
favorite.
He texted us
moment.
right
I
after.
texted you on Twitter too. Oh my god, man, love you guys. Congratulations on the wedding. Thank you guys for having
Oh, yeah.
us.
Congrats.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't say that PC Game Pass is the greatest value in gaming. Only PC Game Pass. So I advise everybody to build a PC and come join us all on this side. Thank you.
Congrats, guys. Have a good rest of
Thank
your
you.
episode, boys. See
Yes.
you and see
Thank
you
you.
guys.
All right, boys. See you guys. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Oh man, too funny.
I think it's time. By the way,
Man.
Nissa says,
Listen, I'm still here. I'm just eating my zinger.
nice.
Continue.
Nissa says their favorite memory is when I joined you guys from on a plane. I would put that pretty high.
That was
on my list.
that was good.
That was a funny moment.
That was good too, for sure. I forgot about the damn crabs, dude. Oh my god,
dude. The look on Hogue's face when he said, "Why are devs so obsessed with crabs?" And I said, "Have you seen a crab, dude? Have you seen a crab?" That was a good moment. Yeah.
And then remember you a few months back, you were like, D's out right now. I was like, yeah, she's out getting you guys some crap.
yeah. That got me really good. D laughed about that too. D was like, I'm gonna get him for that when we see him. Good.
Oh man. Well, guys, it has been we are almost at 3 hours already. Jesus, I didn't even recognize.
Haven't shown your clip.
Yeah, I'll show my clip now, and then you guys can make fun of me for it.
Go.
It's so a little context. So this is from Bitcast Zero. Bitcast Zero.
Bitcast Zero. So this is like Yakuza Zero.
Yeah, this is not even public, so the video is still private, and this is the first attempt of me and Bert at the time, who you saw in Dan's clip earlier, who started Bitcast with, our first attempt at trying to podcast. We had no idea what we were doing, which, as you would tell from my intro, will become readily apparent. Never mind the quality and the sound and everything else that's terrible about it. But this is embarrassing, but we'll have a laugh at me for it. So here you go. This is my intro. Hi, and welcome to the debut episode of Season Gaming's podcast. I'm Ainsley Bowden. I'm joined by Bert Sines. And today we've got a lot to talk about, actually. We're going to be covering the news that's happened in the last week or two. We want to talk about a few developer updates that have happened. We're going to be talking about the new games that have released, as there's quite a few, and what we've been playing. Our main topic tonight is going to be the Nintendo Switch, how it's faring in the market, what people think of it, what Nintendo can do better. And then lastly, as usual, or as a tradition we're going to start on this episode, we're going to talk about a classic game that Bert and I have been playing or either enjoyed when we were younger. So with that, we'll move on to the news.
Oh,
I didn't think that was that bad.
I think that was good. Not only do I think that was good, I love the giant Cuphead taking attention for the entire episode there.
Oh, yes. That was my old house again. So that was the corner I used to podcast from. And
that's before you moved?
That was before, yeah. We started the show about a year before I moved. So even in your clip, Dan, that was the old house.
I think you're too harsh on yourself, though. I mean, like, you had in your head, you'd said as usual for something that didn't exist at
That
all
was
yet.
funny.
And you corrected it on the fly, live, right? Like you changed it to, or as a tradition we're starting on this episode. And that's hard to do. I think you're too harsh on yourself.
I didn't think that was that bad. I was hoping.
I
for
thought it was bad. I like that I introed Bert and then just kept talking too. So you don't even see Bert until like 6 minutes into the show.
I also think that Nintendo Switch thing is going to play out pretty well. I think
it turned. In hindsight, they did okay for themselves. But yeah, that was, when the hell was that? I didn't put that date down. That was 2017.
2017, yeah.
Yeah.
Switch.
So, oof.
I mean, that it really wasn't that bad.
You've really aged in those years. So like, man.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
You're really old.
That headset was a PlayStation, like a generic PlayStation headset I got for like $30 at the time. So
I think the thing we've learned from all these clips is that we've gotten better at doing this, especially where like equipment, and probably because of COVID, now everybody has like good at home like Zoom meeting equipment. But like, man, I went from that red mic that was terrible audio quality to the setup now. My setup could still be better, but like all of our setups are much better except for Dan's, who seems to be regressing.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Mine is still the same from episode 24.
Yeah.
I don't think much has changed.
I like that.
Shout out to Yago. Why does Ains look like a broke Jason Statham? I've been called Jason Statham multiple times in my life, and yeah, I wish I had his his funds. I do not.
Looks,
or
ability,
his martial arts ability. Yeah, or acting ability. Any of those things would do. His accent even. Yeah, would be nice. But shout out to Yago. He's been with us. He's one of our regulars who's been here for a very long time, since the beginning. Always a big supporter of me and Season Gaming. So shout out, brother. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, he said something earlier about like the old table we did, like when we did side by side when I came over.
Did he? I haven't been.
He said the fold out table. I was like, that thing was not fold out. That thing was a beast.
It's heavy.
It's a heavy wooden table, man.
Yeah.
That thing was massive.
It's still literally behind there, except for I broke one of the legs, so I don't even know why I still have it, because I can't use it. So,
but the takeaway, folks, is that everybody starts in a place where they're not happy with 5-7 years later, and you only get to this point if you deign to start. So don't be held back by how you think you look or how it goes from day one, because eventually you get to a place where you sound like Ains now, and not Ains in episode 0.
Hopefully a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you feel that way about everything you do. I know I look at my older reviews and I go, ugh.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It is funny. I have tried to do my best, my very best that I'm capable of in every episode of anything that I've put up. But you go back and you look at Virtual Legality 1 or anything like it, and you're like, oh, that was some choices that I made.
Yeah, I think I've said this story many times here, but the first video on our channel is me unboxing the For Honors Collector's Edition using the Kinect camera while I'm sitting on my floor.
You should have showed that. That sounds way worse. Why didn't you
so that? It's so much worse than what you just did there,
dude. Come on.
I will just fill the time. I can do it real quick. Fill the time real quick for a minute.
Oh, really?
Sure. All right. So For Honor is a Ubisoft 1v1 combat game.
Yeah, I think I can do it.
For Honor is 1v1.
Well, yes.
Since when?
That's all.
There's a mode that's 1v1. The game itself is not 1v1.
That's all I've ever played is 1v1 For Honor. So. I'm trying to fill time here, Travis.
I know, but the way you're explaining it is insane. That's not.
I know. I've seen this video.
Is crazy.
All right,
the special edition is 3 little helmets.
Skull and Bones is a piracy game that takes place in the
No. Fill time with something
I
else.
can talk about other games.
All right, I'm going to just stop talking.
We could talk about First Descendant. You played that. I wasn't expecting that to be the case.
Oh, I did try First Descendant.
What didn't you like about it? Why didn't like?
I actually have something I can talk about too.
It did not connect with me. I didn't enjoy it very much.
Okay.
That's really
talk about it.
And also, go ahead.
AI Limit. If you guys saw, I did a preview about that game.
Go ahead.
I don't know AI Limit.
It's a Souls-like, Ains, and the kind of the big differentiator is that it looks like an anime. Like it has like a very like almost cell shaded kind of like art style, looks like an anime, but the art style it's kind of looks a little Persona-ish, right? With its like style and cool UI and stuff, but My preview's basically like I'm intrigued because the art is cool and it's got a very different vibe than other Souls-like games, but the demo I played was pretty like by the numbers Souls-like stuff, so it doesn't really. I didn't really see anything that like was like, oh, I've never seen that in a Souls-like. It's like very much.
Speaking of by the numbers Souls-like, have you tried Flintlock?
I have not. No, I hear great.
I have.
Flintlock is okay, but it is very much a kind of baby Souls action adventure thing with a cool aesthetic and kind of world.
Someone I know who's reviewing it, not for IGN, said that they were giving it like a really high score, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that." So this is news to me.
It feels like a 7 to me.
I think the Metacritic is literally 70. I think.
No, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not trying to put it out. I haven't beaten it. I've played 3 levels. I like the aesthetic. I like kind of the, I don't know what you'd call it, new world exploratory colonization kind of vibe, Greedfall. Like a Greedfall.
Yeah.
But as a combat game, it's not as impressive as some of the Souls games that I have played.
Agreed.
But outside of Flintlock, I do want to do 2 big shout outs. One to Seasoned Gaming in particular, and to their recommendations of cozy games that I was unfamiliar with. I did wind up getting a game called, and I'm going to mispronounce this terribly, Tohu Mistia Isakaya, based on the recommendation made by the Seasoned Gaming website. And it is a game in which
made by Ray.
By the new cozy contributor, right?
The new
Sword, one of our regulars. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the content Seasoned Gaming actually needs.
It is a wild, weird Japanese restaurant running game that I got on the Switch, but it's got tons of content. It was really enjoyable to play on vacation, and I do recommend it. The other thing I wanted to recommend is a Game Pass game that I'm playing about a disillusioned young lawyer who is looking for adventure in her life. And it is one of my favorites of this past week. It's called The Dungeons of Hinterberg. And the basic premise of this is that inexplicably in a kind of Nordic ski town called Hinterberg, 25 magical dungeons have appeared. And it takes place in the real world. So it's like, what would Hinterberg do with that? They made it a tourist attraction. And so they have like ski mountain signs to each of the dungeons telling you what the difficulty is. And the entire town is arranged around like the tourism attracted to the magical spells that you can learn in the dungeons that you have to go through. And so it combines kind of Zelda dungeoneering with very light combat and then a social bond system with the people in town. And it all feels like a vacation. It all feels like you're taking a trip and the vibes are vacation-y in a way that is more than even my description of this game. So if it all sounds interesting to you, check out the Dungeons of Hinterberg, because seemingly disillusioned young lawyer is an entire genre of video game.
I played that in when I couldn't talk about it, Dungeons of Hinterberg, one of the previews or whatever. I only played it briefly, so I wasn't really enjoying it too much. But from what everyone who's telling me, because it got really good reviews,
it's really
what everyone's is like once you get past, they said like the second or third dungeon is where they really kind of broaden out a bit. So I think I just need to put some more time into it. But yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I will mention, and I do have the video ready, but I'll quickly mention No Man's Sky. So I think I told you guys, I've told some others.
Oh, yeah.
I played a lot of it at launch. I was one of those mutants that liked it at launch.
Gross.
I stopped playing it for obviously years. It's been out 2016, by the way, if you didn't know, 8 years that game's been running. I tried it last year when the tutorial had you mandate like building stuff while you're trying to survive. And I was like, nope. This is not doing it for me at all. So with Worlds that just released this week, if you're not familiar, we have it up on the site. You can check it out from Sean Murray about the new update. But they basically refreshed the whole universe with new features, changes, etc. So I was like, it's really time to go back. So played it, started a new game. And the neat thing now is they have multiple modes you can play in. So you can play your normal survival crafting, rule set. You can play pure creative where nothing applies. You just explore the world and do whatever you want. And then you can even set up fully custom rules, which is what I did. So like I left a little bit of the survivability in, I left a little bit of the building, but I made like materials more like easier to find. So you don't have to search like crazy for them. I made it so you can travel space like right away. You know what I mean? You can put all these custom rules in. and I am fully engrossed. Like
such a good game.
It shit has completely grabbed me. Dan, I was going to recommend to you that, like, you know, we talk about those games where if you just want to spend some time and like you don't have to think a ton about it, you just want to spend. It's beautiful. Like every planet I've got to is gorgeous. I'm just like looting and exploring, and I'm having a blast.
Well, Worlds was a graphics refresh, wasn't it? Am I wrong on that?
No, it changed a whole. Well, yes, it was, but it added a whole bunch of additional stuff.
Yeah, I didn't mean graphics almost every time they do like a new.
Okay, yeah, I didn't mean to discount whatever other things they added. I had seen the shots that Sean Murray had put up, and it looked like it was a full graphics refresh of like their generation.
It does. Like it updated the clouds and the water and, you know, a whole bunch of that stuff too. But it also did a bunch of other stuff as well. So as I said, you can find it on the site. Sorry.
I did the most recent review of No Man's Sky because we review it every couple years at IGN. I think it was like the third or fourth time, and when I played it, I think it was 2020 or 2021. It's really good now. Like you can lose your entire life to that game.
Yeah, I'm shocked at like, and the really engaging thing about it, right? Like even just me exploring. So it does have a long tutorial, like step by step. So it still teaches you if you want to do it, right? Of different things. And I bypassed the building. Took me like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like I just did the most basic thing.
Love the building.
Yeah, and if you love it, obviously it's got all that there for you. I just ignored and fly my ship around and explore, but like it just drops, like it does that great thing where it just drops things at your feet. Like if you want to do it, right? It's like, oh, there's a mysterious marker over there, and then it's like, oh, a space, but you're getting a communication from this galaxy over here, and you know, it just keeps dropping those things, those little things that keep you just like guessing. And it's I can't say enough good things about it. I'm shocked at how much I'm into it again. It's awesome.
Great game.
So, wow, we just got some big super chats here. Let's get these, and then I'll play the hilarious clip, and you can laugh at me again.
Sweet.
Burf, with 2, 1 on each channel, $30 super chats.
Oh, thanks, Burf. Awesome name, number one. $30 super chat. I love that you can I can't even say this word.
What is it? Vehemently? Yeah.
Thank you. Disagree. I've never been able to say that. On each other's game opinions, yet you still manage to be respectful and not descend into brawling. That's what keeps me watching. Well, that and Tides picks. Of course. Thanks and congrats on 300.
And let me get the other one. We can sum up both.
More brawling.
Yes, another $30 ones. I found SG because of your support for Hogue, but I stay because apparently I really enjoy seeing people discuss games I'll never play. That takes some talent. Congrats on 300, and thanks keeping me entertained. Yes.
Thank you very much, Burf.
See, my problem is these guys talk about games that I didn't even know I wanted to play, and then they sound so enticing that I go and buy them immediately. Like this show has not only not made me money, it has cost me money. So there you go.
That's a big problem.
Yeah. Burf, always a big supporter. So thank you for the generosity. Thank you for the support. That is awesome. And yeah, you guys have heard me say this a million times, so I won't fully repeat it, but I love that the four of us have very different opinions on things, different genres, different games. I'll think a game's a 9, you know, Dan will think it's terrible. And all of us, we have those disagreements, but that's fun. I enjoy that aspect of the show. So I like that. I like hearing from other people that they enjoy that too, because that's kind of the point. It's okay, as you know, Hogue will say many times, it's okay to disagree. It's fine.
It doesn't mean they're less human. That is absolutely true.
Yep.
Agree to disagree.
Burf, thank you very much for the generosity. And Katendra with the $20 super chat as well.
Katendra, with another super chat. Ains, you have grown into a great host. Letting this group have their say and express themselves, but also reining them in when needed. I have been impressed more than a few times on how smoothly you can pull it off.
No, here. Ains, you're a great
host.
Reining us in.
Good host.
Under a rain.
That's a really tough seat, as I have found whenever Ains can't make a show, and you do it really well.
Thank you. I don't take compliments well, so I'll say thank you for this. It's unexpected, Katendra.
Do you take insults well? I could.
Insults I could take all day.
That's why you're on the show.
I got you.
I'm English. Like, yeah. I mean, we know, we get it. But yeah, Katendra, thanks so much. I appreciate that, and thank you, Hogue, as well. It is
the other day I was supposed to play Destiny with some people from Great Britain, and they wanted to play at a time where I had a dentist appointment, and I told them that I had to go to the dentist, and then I realized they're from Britain. I have to explain what a dentist is to them. Which was really that made it way harder. Really
they were
awkward.
Like, go on, this is fascinating.
Yeah, they were like, what? You're doing what? Yeah, it was very.
Oh, that's great. So because I did this really quickly while we've been talking, I just pulled down the whole 7-minute video, so I'll just advance it. I think I can do that in here, but this is the the first video on the Season Gaming channel, and it's still live today. But here's a clip of it.
All of this is
What's going on, everyone? This is Porsche Power. Today we're going to be looking at the For Honor Collector's Edition. This is the collector's edition that was sold on the Ubisoft store only and sold out quite a while ago. So I was fortunate enough to get my hands on one. As you can see here on the box, they only made 2,000 of them. So let's go ahead and see what we've got. Now, this is one of 2 collector's editions that are being offered for Honor. The second is a GameStop exclusive that comes with a Triforce statue of the Warlord Knight. However, I personally thought this was the more appealing of the 2, in that it comes with a actual metal replica helmet of each of the 3 factions, so you're not limited to just one. I think we've had enough of that, right?
Oh.
I love that. Okay, that one's way worse. That
it's bad. And the best part is, like, the box is blocking the whole camera.
Yeah,
you can hear me cutting the box more than you can hear me talking.
I can't believe you didn't pre-open it. That's crazy.
And you're cutting it toward yourself, which I really like the safety there. No, that was good. I like that. Ains I would assume is not allowed within a certain range of schools based on that performance there.
No, I just love that your first chosen like hosting cadence was something like Bob Ross. Or so it's like, so here's a box.
You're just going to open it here.
I'm going to open it. This is an unboxing. So that means I unbox it right here. It was great.
I love it.
It was great. What was I going to say? The funny thing I noticed is the piano. You didn't know on the left side of the screen that my old piano was behind me. I don't even have that anymore. I got rid of that. That was old house though. But anyway, good times. Boys, it has been 3 hours. We've had a lot of people stop by, a lot of stories, a lot of generosity with our audience. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us today. Thank you for the generosity.
Can I ask one last question before we fully exit? Because I missed this conversation last week. How is everybody feeling about Concord? Not its marketing, not its numbers. How are you feeling playing it? I'm playing the open beta. This is my first experience with it this weekend. And I'm curious as to how you all are enjoying it or not.
So yeah, I wrote a review in progress, kind of beta impressions piece. My overall vibe is that I think it's really good and it's a lot of fun, and I'm having a ton of fun with the gunplay. I have some concerns with like how fun it'll be long term. Some questions about like, what is your reason to play this over Overwatch or other hero shooters? Because I don't think it really adds anything new. It kind of just follows that formula. And then questions about like, is the story actually going to be something or a nothing burger and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like questions I still have, but I think what they showed in the beta was way stronger than I was expecting. A ton of fun to play, especially with friends. Comp was really fun. And I think the competitive mode where you have to switch characters in between every win round is a really good idea. So yeah. I think it's got a lot of potential. I'm excited to play the full thing. I am doing IGN's like full review next month. So
what's the actual release? I keep forgetting what the release is.
August 23rd, I want to say.
So /20th then?
20th.
Oh God, are they doing that?
Of course they are.
Okay.
Of course they are.
People glad to see you guys are also getting annoyed with it now. That makes me very happy.
I'm tired of it now. I'm done. But no, I liked what I played. We had a good time last week. I didn't get to play this weekend. If I didn't mention, actually, say it again.
They had new stuff. They had new game mode.
Yeah, so I figure I'll just buy it when it comes out. I'm actually going to buy it on Steam because as much as I like the DualSense Edge, the like elite PlayStation controller, as a controller, it's just still the competitive sense in me. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. I need to use my Scuff. I need to use my Elite. So I'm going to buy it on PC where I can play it with Xbox controller. Regardless, I was impressed with the game. I think it's better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not in love with it, but I think I like it enough to buy it and play with some friends. And I hope that they support it long term and polish it and, you know, put the work in. It seems like they're going to. And you have good talent at Firewalk. So I'm hopeful that it turns out well.
Yeah, I played it on PC with the Elite controller with paddles, and it definitely feels a lot better than.
That's where I need to be.
I'm on this show a couple of weeks ago saying that the previews convinced me to be excited about this game. And I got into the beta and I tried it, and I am more excited than I was during the previews. I actually really like playing this game, and there are a number of characters that I really connect with, and they're little vignettes, right? Their idea is that they're going to have these videos that are either going to increase a plot or more likely increase characterization of their people, are going to be there every week, changing as you play this game. The little vignette that's currently on the open beta, which is like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes long, gives such good little character beats for like 3 of the different characters in the roster that I think that method could work. In fact, I think that it could be the differentiator for them from an Overwatch or something else. And I think they probably made a mistake with the beta as marketing tool by not having the Galactic Guide and the availability of those vignettes as part of their offering. So it's a little bit difficult to tell how successful that's going to be long term. But the actual shooting, I think, is excellent. It's what I wanted. It feels like Destiny. It has that kind of time to kill. And there are a number of characters that I've really liked playing as in a way that I didn't like with other hero shooters. So I'm really hopeful for this. On the other hand, like even in open beta, free to access for everybody, like I literally cannot get into a ranked match. Like that's the third one that opens up for your levels of progress, and the population is not enough even free right now. So that concerns me long term. I get worried about being Battleborn, right? And Battleborn was a game about spaceships and robot spies and things, and this is a game about spaceships and robot spies and things. And so I get worried about that. But by the way, the robot spy, best character or second best character, depending on how you feel about the crazy engineer. But it's a really fun game to play. I've really enjoyed it. It's super colorful and vibrant. The characters have a lot of character, even from just the how to play screens that you can currently see in the beta. And I think it's got a lot of potential that I would like to see realized. And I'm worried that not enough people are going to find it.
Yep. Agree with almost all that. Yeah, shooting feels good. I the thing I actually really like about it is it's not an Overwatch clone. To Hogue's point, it plays like a character-driven, more arena shooter, which I prefer. Time to kill is a little longer. You actually have game modes that are the 5v5. Like it feels more like Halo Call of Duty mixed with Overwatch, which sounds weird, but it's like you take the character-based shooting and the abilities, and then you mix it with more traditional maps and modes, and I like that about it.
I see. And what so you're saying it's not an Overwatch clone because of the format it chooses for its multiplayer.
Yeah, not stylistically, not that type of thing.
It has like all the same like weird like, oh, I guess this is just the genre now stuff, like the fact that the characters are seemingly friends in the cutscenes, but they're killing each other with no explanation for why they're doing that in the matches, like stuff like that.
Those are rival crews, Travis. Those are rival crews. I do think that there could be better kind of filling out of some of those details, and I think they've got the structure to do it in. One of the things that I was really surprised by was how like the characters in the vignette from this week are like One-Off and Vale and Starchild. And like, I felt something more about those characters just watching that vignette. So I think that system can work. And in a hero shooter, the more you get that kind of vibe of characterization, sorry, Ains, for using your word, I think you do start to feel like the actual game is more like the Avengers, right? Like these are actual people that have dropped in that have their own thoughts and have their own powers. And it really can work well. I'm not sure people are going to find it. I'm not sure it does enough to differentiate itself in screenshot form or video form. But I think
it also has the disadvantage of being a game you have to buy, because a lot of these hero shooters are free to play and they're competing against a game that has a $40 price tag, which I think
prefer.
I prefer it too, but I think it's a legit concern, right? Because that's also part of the grind in a lot of these games is like, oh, I want to open the loot boxes and try to get the skin that I want for my character. And
but I'll say, look, I loved Battleborn, and this is better than that. And so I'm excited about this.
Oh man, the kiss of death, Hogue's endorsement. Man, I love Battleborn. Never thought I'd hear those words.
Hey man, Battleborn, Skull and Bones, Concord. Buy the games Rick likes.
Oh, no.
Nobody else will.
Oh no. In all seriousness too, Dan, if you haven't tried Concord, because you're not really in the competitive sense, you can play this game kind of in a more lighthearted fashion, in the sense of you can tank, you can heal, you don't have to be in the fully competitive kill, like I said in DM. So you may want to check it out while it's free.
It's got great support characters, Dan.
Yeah, it's fun. It is quite fun.
It's actually my favorite, and she basically cloaks and puts surveillance cameras around the map so that the rest of the team can see.
That I shoot down.
You're a great support character.
Well, thank you. But I do love Kips. You can shoot down my surveillance cameras all you want, Ains. I'll bring back more.
Well, in
That's
theory,
the creepiest thing you've ever said, and you said it very threateningly. You can shoot down my surveillance cameras.
I'm gonna put up more.
No, but like one of the cool parts about this game that's a new idea, I think it's a new idea, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, is that the characters you play all have kind of a support bonus for the next characters you play. So if you rotate around the roles a little bit, you can get like all 6 bonuses by the time you're done with your round, and if you're dying.
I also really like the variants. I think that's a neat idea where they're still hero shooter, like they're archetypal, but you can kind of mix up that perk by whichever variant you get. And also the variant chase is very enticing. Like you definitely want to like do those bounties to get the variants unlocked. So
like with the different passives.
Yeah, they have the different passives, and the more of those variants you have, the more you can kind of fill out your crew with copies of the same person, so that when they get kicked, when you win a round in the competitive ones, you can use another copy that you had. So there's like a bunch of different mechanisms that are built around gathering these things. I personally don't know that I love the job board progress system because it's a little opaque in the beta, but I can give it credit for that could be smoothed out with a different kind of job board progression.
I think being able to use variants as alternate characters is kind of interesting, but I do think it kind of defeats the purpose of the competitive, because that's like the main thing for me, right? Is like you win a match, you have to change characters, and if down the road you're going to be able to have like 4 variants of the same character and just like overrule that decision,
they need to change
I'll be kind of like, I kind of think that's kind of lame.
But that's right. I mean, like, that's part of what you're gaining from playing and getting.
I get that, but it's also like,
it
just seems to defeat the purpose of like that unique little twist that they have for multiplayer. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Yep. And while we've been talking, to help close us out here, Tide has sent over extra pics of what will look like, I guess, after 300 more episodes, or maybe 3,000 more episodes. I'm not really sure, but they're horrifying either way, as you would imagine. And here you go, Dan. We're going to start with you, my friend. Your future.
I'm not going to live that long.
You look
no chance I live to that. No.
I love the Jedi Dan in the bottom left there.
I was gonna say bottom left is just you in like 10 years, as a Jedi. I think you're doing okay there.
I look like the old maester from Game of Thrones in the bottom right. Like the old Pycelle or whatever his name was.
I just don't know when you broke your nose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Probably ran into a wall at some point.
Yeah, that's horrifying. Where's Travis at? Travis is going to be sad, I'm sure. Let's find him.
Here Travis always complains about him.
Honestly, these aren't that bad. I'm actually
the upper right one.
About these.
The AI just always thinks Travis is sad.
I mean, it's right. It's correct about that. The AI peers deeply into my soul. No, I mean, these aren't that bad. I kind of look like a Nikola Tesla Einstein character. Not bad.
It thinks you're an intellectual.
They're right. I'm extremely intellectual. That's why I play Earth Defense Force 6. Yeah, intellectual.
That's right. Hogue?
All right, let's do it.
Even more intellectual.
You're becoming part of a tree, apparently.
This is Hogue if he made Skull and Bones his entire personality.
So give it 2 years? Is that what you're saying?
He just starts to look naval, vaguely naval.
He looks like he's, like Steve Wozniak is what he looks like. I know.
I like it. I think he looks good. Oh yeah, he does kind of look a little Wozniak.
Oh God.
This is good.
Where's mine? Here they are. Oh God.
Oh my
Why do
God.
again the headset?
Well, you're
always
the Sith.
headsets and
You're the
wires.
Sith to Dan's Jedi.
Yeah.
You have more hair
Honestly,
on
AI is
these
pretty
pictures.
bad
than
at
you do
getting
in
your
real life.
face, Ains. They mess
It
it up
is.
a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man.
No, it's too bad.
Look at that headset in the lower right. Good Lord. And why do I have like a big red mark on my face? Did Dan win the battle? This is post battle.
That's after you broke his nose.
Oh my God. Ty, thank you as always. Always fun. Appreciate you. All right, boys. Well, we'll obviously be talking a lot more about Concord in the coming weeks, right? We'll talk a lot more about Diablo in the coming weeks and months once that comes out, and all the other games we've been playing. We'll get back to a normal cadence next week. But until then, it's been an absolute pleasure. Seriously, I look forward to this every week with you guys. It's always fun, and we have a lot of good laughs. Even when we're arguing, we end up laughing about it, which is hilarious. So. That's about all I have to say. It's weird to think we're at 300 episodes. The show has changed a lot over the past 7+ years. It started with Bert. Dan came on early. Then Bert left. It was just Dan and I at a single table. We would have guests, every week. I would be hunting down for guests to join Dan and I, and then, you guys coming on. So it's been a journey, but it's been a fun one. So that's about all I'll say to close it out. Anything you guys want to shout out before we take off?
Got a review of Earth Defense Force 6. I can say that because that game came out in Japan last year, I can tell you it's an extraordinarily long game with 147 levels, each of which take like 30 minutes. And it is going to be the death of me. I've been playing it for a week and I'm not even close to being done.
Is it any good?
Okay.
Like, stay tuned.
Have you played Earth Defense Force?
I have.
Yeah, so like it's good in that it is Earth Defense Force and it's bad in a very fun and good way, but it's one of those. I don't know. I honestly don't know where I'm going to come out on it at this point. I haven't really thought about it. Now I'm just trying to get through all these ants and robots that I've been fighting for hours.
That is okay.
Here's an anecdote that I think will sum up very well, like the vibe. I was playing Earth Defense Force for about 3 hours. It has a very specific design and look to it. And then at a certain point, the Earth blows up in the game. And then the screen goes white and text appears on the screen that says, Earth Defense Force 6 begins now. And then it takes you to a completely different UI. The graphics change, like the graphic design goes to like a completely different vibe. And then the game like starts again.
Sounds wild.
So anyway, I'm gonna have that up.
I think that your pause in my question of is it any good is sufficient review for me right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know yet is my answer, but we'll see.
As for me, I have a couple things. One, if you are a fan of Last Stand Media, you might see me over there again pretty soon. You might already see me. I don't actually know how they do their Patreon right now. But keep your eyes out for that. I will be talking on that channel relatively soon. And on my own channel, since I've been gone for a couple weeks, people have been gracious and let me vacation and not make videos. I am still intending to make a video on Chevron deference, what it means, what it doesn't, as well as probably presidential immunity, what it means and what it doesn't. And put those out relatively soon. There's also been some letters and filings made in the FTC case against Xbox that people are maybe a little bit overly enthusiastic about that I might make a video on. I don't really love making the videos that are just kind of don't listen to everybody shouting because it's not like super insightful. But I might make a video about that because I do think people are maybe overselling that. So if any of that sounds good to you, come to the Hogue Law YouTube channel. We'll be doing some, all, or none of that in the next week.
Fair enough. Me and you are on very similar content schedules, I see. There's just things that are planned that, you just run out of time or it doesn't happen for one reason or another. I get people earlier in the show asking me for the newest tour of the game room and vid, and I've been talking about that for since last year. So sometime it'll happen. But anyway, anyone listening to us on audio afterwards, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Appreciate you as well. We do our best to try not to forget about the audio listeners during the live show. Hope it's not too bad. There is a crab going across the screen right now. I'm trying to describe.
He's gonna come and grab that from you.
You just hear the door slam open and D comes in. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with these guys, hanging out for 300, hanging out with this community. The community is just amazing. So thank you so much. As we head out, Don comes in with the last second super chat.
Yep, better late than never. Congratulations on 300. You're all awesome.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Don.
Yes, Don. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. And you can check out Don's article on Dragon Age on the site as well. That's been up. So, but thank you all. Appreciate you so much. We will see you next week. Have a good week playing Z in games. We will see you later.